Like an escort mission in video games.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yes.
I hate those.
Playing with Envy is like
Resident Evil 4. Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Bioshock Infinite was a little bit different, or Max Payne 2. The NPCs always like spamming lines at you all the time, and they're always like pathing over to like explosive barrels and stuff like that. You gotta be like, no, don't do that. As an institution, as a fight breaks out,
yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
He will be able to John himself away. But no, without doubt, there's a lot of heroes, a lot of players here that I think
a lot of history
will be very excited to see. And I mean, considering the two drafts, how do you see this game going? Is there sort of someone you think's got the edge, or are we going to see quite a closely fought game?
Both the one positions have their mainstays. Pycat, Morphling, Envy Terribly, these are probably their most played heroes in recent patches. And they put DJ on the Witch Doctor, and they put Naga Siren on Adam. And so, again, you've got maybe not so much the traditional position for a DJ, but Adam has been doing very, very well on this Naga Siren. So I'm kind of leaning towards Fnatic. It's just that I haven't really been that big on Universe's Pango recently. He always goes for this first casual Javelin and then works his way into a Blink Dagger, and I have not been convinced by the build yet.
Yeah, we'll see what he does do this game. I mean, as you say, if that's what he's been doing, it's almost certainly going to be the same, the Javelin early on.
You didn't want that.
We'll see what the plan is. At the lanes as they've settled, we'll see who's able to come out on top. And so far, I mean, which lane would you sort of be most worried about on one of the sides? Who is going to suffer the most off the back of these lanes?
It's going to be very quiet laning. Despite there being these kinds of exotic heroes, the way that the lanes have been set up is that there's not much room for kill potential. Like 33 is taking the puck as now Maledict does come out on Zai and he's chasing down 33. But again, like there's a lot of ways to not die in all these lanes. Like Puck has Jaunt and Phase Shift, the Elder Titan has Sleep, and the Witch Doctor has the heal. So the bot lane is like pretty break even, assuming that 33 doesn't do a lot of magic damage. Then mid lane, you got CCNC, he's a DK, he's not really going to die.
Sure. But you would probably expect Arbet to have the slight CS lead.
Right.
And, he does indeed at the moment. I mean, so that little bit ahead of CCNC. Very close nonetheless.
And one of the reasons a lot of people weren't too enthusiastic about putting DJ on a less mobile hero, I guess, less roam-oriented hero, is because a lot of people really like DJ's roam.
He's got it. Double damage. Hey.
Now what kind of movement is that? Everyone always expects the mid lane, and just when I'm talking about how his roam has been inhibited by being on someone like a Witch Doctor, boom, courier snipe.
Bottom lane, bit of attempt here onto Zai. They've got the paralyzing cast can, the Maledict Envy turns towards him. He's looking for that first blood, and with the amount of damage flying in, it should be enough to pop it. One more. Is he gonna do it? Oh, no, he's gonna live, I think. Oh,
6 HP.
6 HP, he's out of there. Zai. He'll survive. But still, I mean, it says quite a lot that we're 3 minutes in. No one's died, but Fnatic, they're at a 2k gold lead already.
Yeah, the mid lane going handily for the Templar Assassin on Abed. And Universe is doing fairly well in this offlane with the help of Adam. Adam has been just sitting here in this dual lane situation, and there's a fair amount of synergy between these two heroes. Riptide drops armor, and Swashbuckle is all physical damage, so a hero like Rubik or Morphling can be very susceptible to that, although granted Morphling has very high armor due to the fact that he always shifts very much into agi, but he has to be careful. He gets rooted up in the top lane, but
yeah, Pikeout still finding the farm though.
Right.
But as you say, yeah, the big point being that Universe, he's getting farm out of this lane, but on the other side of the map for OpTic 33, he's suffering a little bit down. He's not getting sort of the CS that he would hope on his puck, as he is falling behind the cores in this laning stage so far.
Yeah, Dire offlane Elder Titan is extremely popular. You get so much access to all these camps to build up Elder Titan right click and move speed from the Astral Spirit. And more often than not, we won't really see these Elder Titans leave the lane. Even though it's sometimes in like Puck's best interest to get solo experience, there's just too much potential for kills if you get a few stacks completed in these jungle camps.
Oh, look at this Invis rune here. Oh, they're holding hands, 33 and Zai. This would be a beautiful cask opportunity if they can get Envy close enough to offer damage, but Envy's pretty low. So it's a little risky for Envy to try to make the play, but he is going to attempt it. With the cask and Maledict down onto Zai, but Envy has to keep himself back. A little worried about being bursted down by 33. Still nonetheless DJ coming in and giving quite a bit of a punch to Zai. Even that Elder Titan on his toes.
Yeah, meta down right now for Terrorblade, so not really possible.
Nice to 5 minutes though. Pop for a quick drinky poo.
Brought to you by Borjome. If you're at least watching the Russian stream, these shrines are brought to you by Borjome. And still, 5 minutes in, no kills.
Oh. Fireblades. Very nicely done here by Arbed, but CCNC holding himself well against this TA.
Yeah, this is incredibly frustrating for a DK. Problem is you don't really want to buy boots as now Maledict.
He has already used the phase shift 33 to dodge the initial cast, and a few right clicks might just do it. He's got the orb and a phase shift left. Can he dodge all the ticks? No, he can't. First blood will finally be claimed by DJ.
And meta wasn't even necessary to spend. It's up now, so...
Oh, that deny. CNC. Making sure that Carty doesn't go the way of Arbed.
Yeah, poor DK, he's 289 move speed and traps are already up and running. Dude has not gotten his boots yet on this Dragon Knight.
He's got to be careful about, I mean, maybe the potential dive obviously is still a little hard with the amount of armor that the DK has, but there is a double damage rune top, and Arbed will be quick to claim it. But still 6 minutes in, it's a 3k lead. Fnatic are absolutely out-farming OpTic Gaming in these lanes.
And it's difficult to say which lineup is better in the late game, because depending on how these secondary positions itemize, they can become either very potent damage dealers or very high utility. We oftentimes see like Elder Titans with things like Halberd or whatnot, as Zai almost goes down to the double damage rune. TA, but gets out. And then obviously like Pango's carry potential is still a mystery in a lot of people's minds.
Look at this up top. They're trying to dive in for Pycat. Pycat will have backup TPs are coming in. And it's looking like they're going to try and turn things around. Still, TPD, he's now going to be focused by Universe and Adam, and they will be able to finish off the kill with a swashbuckle from Universe. Pycat was able to get himself out of that top lane, but again, Fnatic stepping up the pressure and keeping this sizable early game lead.
And all the while, Envy continues to freeform. Still kind of hampered initially as a root comes out on the Morphling. But we've seen Envy Terrorblade more often than not be more than content having a subpar lane.
Look at this rotation from DJ. He's got the cast, he's got the Maledict, making sure that there's more than enough damage coming out from himself and Arbet to take CNC and C's line.
4K net worth.
It's quite a lead early on.
That is quite a lead.
I mean, and the thing is, you look at the CS, there's not really sort of, it doesn't seem like there's that much of a difference, but the numbers, they tell us otherwise.
And the heroes on Fnatic, like TA is going to be able to farm Ancients exceptionally well. Morphling and DK, they don't really have that great recovery plans because all these supports on OpTic have been very busy. PPD was rotating top. Sai has been sticking around bot, but now he goes up top, cancels the stomp.
Yeah, Adam did look to try and duke it out. Universe is going to be there to back them up. They're going to come in straight away with Maledict, the Power Landing Cast, and the Rolling Thunder. They're getting the bounces, they're getting the shield crash here. Universe doing the damage. Pycat will waveform up to the high ground. Should be able to survive. Zai will be able to just get himself away. But again, we're seeing sort of the scary potential of Fnatic's heroes when they get the combo out, bringing OpTic Gaming's very, very low. As Pycat will make the long trip back to base to regenerate. Been chased by Arbet.
The struggle that you're seeing to kill Morphling though is going to persist throughout the entire game. You have minimal stuns to stop out a shift attribute. You've got no real natural Orchid builders. Like TA could go into a Bloodthorn, and I imagine Abed is going to feel obligated to do so, and maybe Pangolier as well. But still, if Morphling manages to complete a Linken's, you also don't really have that many Linken's poppers.
Yeah, a lot of sort of weight on Pycat in that sense, but as we've seen in the past, that can absolutely work out for OpTic. Pycat has really stepped it up in this roster, and his Morphling has been certainly something to be feared. But he's got to get there, and it's going to take time. And it's sort of a question of whether Fnatic are going to allow OpTic Gaming to have that time to get Pycat to that position where he's ready to carry the game.
It looks like Pycat's not even waiting for permission from Fnatic. Makes a rotation of his own at level 5 on Morphling. Dragonform was activated on CCNC, but this is a creative movement at this early stage in the game.
And look at this net worth that we'll now get to see at the top of it, Universe. He has just been having a dream lane up top. Pretty much free farm on that Pangolier.
Yeah, if you can get a Javelin this early, then I'm an advocate for it. Because the damage is outrageous if you manage to get it before anyone on the enemy team manages to even get their ultimates.
Loaded to the precious bounty.
A lot of tension around this bottom lane. As there are 4 members of OpTic. Around CCNC did head over, picks up an Invis room, will turn back towards the mid lane, but not really too much he can do against Arbed on his own. Especially with Arbed having both DJ and Universe just behind him now in the middle lane. Maybe even Fnatic themselves, seeing if they can make a play onto this Dragon Knight. They're heading forward. Are they going to be able to catch out CCNC? He's keeping himself underneath the tower. So he should be fine in this. He also TP backup coming in as well towards the mid, just in case Fnatic did go in a little deeper. CCNC will be fine for now, with Zai TPing in to make sure that the push doesn't go any further.
I guess the idea is they want PPD's Rubik to hit level 6, but PPD's like level 6 and 3/4. This is like the highest I've ever seen PPD be leveled at this stage of the game. And Morphling has been kind of sharing the lane down here with like 3 other heroes. Now Puck leaves, and it's going to be Morphling against the Terrorblade. But Fnatic still have like a substantial net worth advantage, and when you have that heavy net worth advantage, or rather disadvantage on OpTic, it's not really in your best interest to send your carry and in a situation where they can't get farm.
There we go, Fnatic should be able to claim this tier 1 tower. They're going to scan out as well, so they know that someone is hiding in the trees. As Universe will start to hunt, PPD immediately just goes for the TP out before he's found and will get away, but that indeed is a tower for Fnatic. 6k lead. It really is, as you can sort of see the individual cores, that slight edge, but the big one, these offlaners. Universe, 5.3k net worth, 33 at the moment, 2.4. It's quite a significant bit more than double the net worth.
Well, they may be able to cut it if they bait Envy successfully.
Having a look, Envy, he has got 4 heroes to deal with it, and they've got the stun, the Dragon Tail, the burst. No chance for a Sunder to come out from Envy. OpTic a very well needed kill, as they will manage to take Envy off the map for 30 seconds, and they themselves can claim a tier 1. They need these pickoffs though, as they are behind off the back of a very successful laning stage overall for Fnatic.
So I think Pycat just found out the hard way that morphing into Terrorblade and then activating Metamorphosis does not really work the way you think it does. He now has like a slower missile speed right now as PPD.
Been chased by Arbed.
Stolen.
They've got a sentry. Amel won't save him, and now look at this. The wraparound's coming in, and oh, it's the perfect place to get him between the two cliffs. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Jumps up with a swashbuckle, and CC&C is taken out. Universe, he's got a smile there. I mean, that is just the model, but he's got a smile there. He hasn't got a smile there. Universe, of course, as straight-faced as ever. He's focused, but...
That all these choke points are dream situations instead of rolling boulders. And so far, this is the best I've seen the Pangolier look all tournament long.
And it's looking good. Universe is stepping it up at the moment.
Level 8, he's got 2,100 gold, so he's about to have Blink Dagger completed on top of this Javelin in around 14
he's so
minutes.
rich.
He's so rich.
He is... I mean, Universe, he can have games like this where he just is... Somehow, he's just so darn farmed at this sort of early stage of the game. Yeah. He's only just a little bit behind Arbed, and Arbed's been having an excellent game in the mid lane on his TA.
And it's not even a lot of kills. He's 1-0-1 right now, so it's not like he's been making godlike rotations this
seeing if they can bring him down. It's not going to be long enough for the Silence, and now the turnaround comes in.
Thunder.
He has. He wants that out. Thank you very much, Zai. I'll take that. As again, Universe, make sure that he's involved in the action. We'll be up there, joining on the glory. But a very, very slow start from OpTic Gaming, being punished here by Fnatic's movements. As Arbed, I mean, look at this pace as well with the farm that he's got. It's going to be a very quick Blink Dagger Desolator on this Templar Assassin.
I'm actually very surprised that Arbed ended up going for the Blink first. A lot of times you'll see Deso first if you are a TA with like a really high lead and the rest of your team is making space. You're like, whatever, you guys don't need me. And Arbed has not really been involved in very much right now, but he got the Blink. Doesn't really matter if you get the Deso this quickly, as he's been stacking Ancient consistently. And the rest of his team is smoked up in the dire jungle.
Let's see what they can find. Fnatic. They know that they've got the advantage and they want to keep it going. Zai, behind the tower, will be spotted out here by the Illusions. They are going to see the Rolling Thunder coming on the side though, because Universe, he's found 33, and again, with this Rolling Thunder, no chance to jaunt out to the orb. Another kill for Fnatic, and with Envy's Metamorphosis, they're putting heavy pressure onto this tier 2 tower. Zai tries to slow things down with an Echo Stomp. They've got TPs coming in. They're going to see if they can do this, but there's backup here for Envy. Can they save Envy? No, they can't. Envy will fall. OpTic able to claim the life of the Terrorblade. See if they can get anything more here. PPD will steal the Swashbuckle, but will not look to chase. So they do stop the push of Fnatic, and they do kill Envy.
Yeah, kind of questionable to stay up there. Song was still down from a while back, still had 60 seconds left on it, and Rolling Thunder was just used to kill the puck. So I guess because Metamorphosis was up, they're like, okay, let's take this tower.
But they found Pycat. Pycat is going to jump into the Pangolier, try and swashbuckle himself away. At the same time, though, Arbed finds Zai as he wraps him from the high ground.
Cool.
Uni crash.
Oh, so is that why he missed the swashbuckle?
That's what I'll tell you.
Ooh. Oh, that's a big crash.
I mean, it looks like he's not going to get this kill on Pycat anyway.
No, he's not.
Because it's a morph.
It's a morphling.
It's a morphling.
And that's what OpTic are saying in their minds. They're like, they're not going to win this game because we've got morphling.
I mean,
right?
it really is at the moment. The OpTic, by all means, they are behind. Fnatic are playing incredibly well in this opening section of the game, but there is this morphling. And if OpTic can keep the game going, can get Pycat to this position where he's able to kill heroes himself, he's got sort of that nuke build with the E-Blade, which of course is a long way away at the moment. He's just sitting on the Tranquils. Sorry, not the Tranquils, the Treads, the Aquila.
Working his way towards Lincoln's first.
Yeah. Which he does need, because it's sort of the little lockdown they do have is the point target.
And the enemy team is so farmed that they're bound to get something that will disable you through it. Like, Universe has the potential to go Abyssal. Probably won't happen. I still think Orchids are the better option. Sure. But since all of Fnatic are so far ahead, there is a potential for a TA Bloodthorn and a Pango Bloodthorn. And so, preemptively build the Lincolns. You are not going to be able to get any kills with an E-Blade regardless, because the enemy team is just so far ahead.
I mean, looking at the sort of early stages of the game, what is it that has set the two teams apart this early on the most? Like, was it a certain lane composition, you think, or like why is the difference so big so early on? We were seeing it, what, 3K lead at like 3 minutes in, and it's only ever got bigger.
I think OpTic Gaming were expecting more roaming to come out from Fnatic, but it was a consistent 2-1-2 matchup the entire time, and the 2-1-2 of Fnatic beats out all the 2-1-2s of OpTic. It was the Witch Doctor and the Terrorblade in the bot lane versus the Elder Titan and Puck. In theory, Puck may be able to get an advantage, but there was a courier kill that Witch Doctor managed to get, the double damage rune, the invis rune. All the early movements from the Witch Doctor just made that 2-1-2 far superior. And in the off lane, it was so easy for the Naga Siren and the Universe Pangolier to, like I said, have that synergy with armor reduction going up against the Morphling, who does not really have very much HP, even though he has a lot of armor.
My goodness as well, Arbed.
DD rune.
He's got a DD rune and he's got the Desolator complete. I mean, he's leaving the DD rune there for now. He knows it was there.
He's baiting it.
He is. He's going to go grab it. But this is a... Oh, I mean, why not?
Why not?
DD rune Desolator. Keep the advantage, play it safe, go for the Roshan. They're into the pit. They've got the song to rely on if OpTic Gaming do come over. And OpTic Gaming, they're split up. They're down bottom. They're not going to be able to come over in time. This is going to be the dream DD rune for Fnatic to find.
Literally attacking Roche outside of the pit. You could not give a bigger signal, but there's no vision around here. And even if there was vision, OpTic Gaming are so far behind. And this Roche goes down in like 1 minute.
There we have it. Roshan, Aegis on Arbed. A scarier TA at 60 minutes you have not seen, I am sure. Desolator, Blink,
Rolling
Aegis.
Thunder on the Rubik.
Here we go, PPD. Oh. Universe. He's loving it. He's absolutely loving it, Universe.
So he ends up going for the hood. So this is pretty much Universe, I think, has gone that build, same build every single time. I think they probably only pick Pangolier if he's allowed to go this build. First, go for the single Javelin, helps you out with farming and Swashbuckle. Go for the Blink Dagger because Blink Dagger is just so valuable with Rolling Thunder synergy. And then you start tanking up. You have so much survivability between Shield Crash and whatever your items are providing you. The hood, oftentimes we'll see Crimson Guard built, and you are just constantly causing chaos, and no one on the enemy team can do anything about it because if they get close to you, they get even more damage reduction with Shield Crash.
This mid lane, they're coming in with a wraparound. They're looking to go in pretty deep here. They've got the root onto Zai. CCNC trying to turn around here with the Elder Dragon form. Thunder comes out from Ember. They've got the Maledict down onto CCNC. Look at the damage from Arbed. CCNC will fall.
Look at the damage from Witch Doctor.
Oh! Misses the swashbuckle there, Universe. Alright. Don't need PPD's kill.
No.
They already got the big ones. They got the Elder Titan. They get the DK. Bottom lane 33's trying for the split push. Putting some pressure onto that tier 2 tower. Again, it's just Fnatic getting away with these plays. And Arbed as well, he is preparing for that Morphling. At least he did have the Scythe of Vice queued up after the Desolator, so one of the answers for sure. One of the answers. In terms of being able to kill Pycat if Pycat does start to get scary.
Yeah, someone else will still need something to pop the Lincolns, as TA does not have any targeted spells or other items besides that Scythe of Vice to be able to pop it as and shredded.
They do find PPD at the end of it all. He comes back out. They've got the trap slow onto Zai. They're seeing if they can catch out more. Adam does have the song if they need to, but Universe, he's straight in with the Rolling Thunder, getting the perfect angles as well to get the double bounce off. Arbed with the double kill. The slaughter continues as Fnatic are just overrunning OpTic Gaming. 13-2 at 19 minutes in, 10k gold lead.
Dire's top tower.
This is looking a lot freer than I think anyone expected. And granted, all the eggs seem to be in the Morphling basket, and so if Pycat does manage to do something, then I guess it's going according to OpTic's plan, but I don't think any team's plan is to be down 12k net worth at 19 minutes in.
Universe nearly with the completed pipe after these shenanigans as well. And Arbed just racing further and further ahead in the lead on his Templar Assassin. How's he doing on the money after the Desolator? Well, he has got 3,600 gold already on top of this Blink Desolator. It's going to be a very early timing side for Vice.
Hell, he might even complete it before Pycat even finishes the Lincolns.
It's insane.
Actually, never mind. Pycat's got it delivered, assuming the courier doesn't die. Right now, Radiant are invading.
Adam is getting looked towards by PPD in 33. Universe is there to back him up.
Oh, Pycat.
Okay, Pycat.
It's not a shotgun, it's just a little handgun. but you're going to need more than a Glock if you want to win this game.
That's true. You need something big on pipe.
And smoke up. They make sure that there's no vision around here, as they know that Fnatic were just in that secret shop area. And they're looking for something. They've got the Lincolns freshly completed on Pycat. Zai has the
they found Envy here. Envy, silence. See, they've got it. Big kill for them to get. Universe is coming in with a Rolling Thunder, trying to find some return action. Looks like he's going to roll out. Doesn't want to stick around with the rest of his team not in position to fight, but again, these are big kills to find.
TPing.
He's going to get it. 33 in time with the Dream Car. They're going to be able to catch out Universe, jump down to the low ground, but he's not going to be able to keep himself alive. Pycat turns into the Pangolier, gets the swashbuckle to finish off the kill. So they are managing to fight back here, OpTic, getting these big core kills, and with the lead that Fnatic had, these kills worth an incredible amount to OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I would say that Templar Assassin is still probably, I mean, she has 13,000 net worth right now. Pycat, who is second place right now, has 9,000 net worth.
He's climbing back up though, Pycat.
He is.
He's climbing back up there.
But killing the Pango and the Terrorblade definitely very, very valuable to doing that. And Abed ended up opting for the Orchid as opposed to the Scythe of Vice.
Okay.
Maybe, perhaps, feeling the pressure a little bit. Scythe of Vice would have taken a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And also doesn't really transition as well into damage dealing. Like the Bloodthorn is a very, very natural movement for an itemization on Templar Assassin, whereas Scythe of Vice like doesn't really offer you that much in terms of right click.
A lot of, as we keep saying, weight on Pycat. I mean, if Pycat can carry this game, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal on OpTic Gaming, but it's going to be so hard with how big the 3 cores of Fnatic are already scaling up to be. As you say, Abed with the completed Orchid, any target it finds, it could be an easy kill if he landed the Orchid on the right here. It might not matter with the death ward, and it doesn't. It was just the BM silence. It'll silence the creep, but it'll murder you. As Abed pushes onto this tier 1 tower with the backup of his team.
These are definitely some of like the most full duration death wards on a single target I've ever seen.
DJ, I mean, as people have been saying, sure, they've sort of switched around the roles a bit with Adam and DJ sometimes, but DJ showing us it doesn't matter what role you put him in, what hero you put him in, he's going to have a good game.
Absolutely.
You know, definitely proven to be a pretty outstanding player here at this LAN. And back for the Fernand Nullifier. Of course, for Abed on top of the Orchid, so he can have that full lockdown. Make sure that there's very little ways for his target to survive.
Yeah, he's bouncing around. We'll see what he settles on. Right now, he switched to BKB as well. It's all.
I mean, do you think he? Would you like to see him get the BKB? Like, does he need to get a BKB this game?
He keeps opting for the more conservative option, and I always prefer that whenever you're in a far ahead lead. So, like, Scythe would have been greedier than Orchid. The Nullifier would have been greedier than BKB. There's no reason to go full potential because I think at this rate, Fnatic can take it late. I mentioned like it's difficult to say which team, if it goes down to like 60 minutes, has the upper hand. I think with this early lead, they can consistently keep it as now Snap Coil.
Ooh, they're looking for him, but Abed immediately blinks out, tanks the stun of the coil, because he knows he's got his friends there. Envy and Adam are around, and he'll be able to walk himself away. The smoke gank unsuccessful from OpTic.
There's so many traps in the Dire jungle right now, and PBD does not have the money to just bathe the entire map in sentry wards, and you can't get a gem this early because everyone's a liability if you put a gem on someone on OpTic. Really, CCNC is the best option, but CCNC doesn't want to be hanging out with the team.
So they're going to look for Pycat straight in away with the stun. They've got the damage as well.
Wow.
Universe immediately with that Rolling Thunder connection makes sure that there's no chance to start the morphing.
That's a 1.25 second stun, and they managed to kill him.
We've got so much single target damage with Abed in on to that target. And Envy also just looking for the safe items to really keep this advantage. He's queuing up the BKB. He's pretty much got the money for it.
He went for the trap. Both the trap talents, the increased amount, which is +3 traps at level 10, and the increased damage, which is +200 damage at level 15. And you can just see all these little green dots.
I mean, absolutely. There's sort of the vision and sort of the annoyances across the map that Abed's been able to place down have been absolutely huge. Up top, I'm going to look towards him, but again, he's quick with the blink before the adaptive strike connects.
That's the other thing. There's no way that they can easily burn through refraction. All of these heroes on OpTic Gaming are all slow, bursty heroes. They don't have any DOTs whatsoever, aside from, I guess, the Corrosive Breath on CCNC, but he's going for a BKB on his DK. He's not going for anything like a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, Abed 6-0-5 this game. They have not been able to kill him at all.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Envy, sure, he died a couple of times, but now with the completed BKB, he's going to dive in with Fury, and Abed heads back to base, sells his wand, make sure he's got the money, and he's also got his BKB complete as well. So you've got BKB on both of the big cores of Fnatic now. It's getting to that point where maybe even the high ground of OpTic Gaming can be threatened by this lineup.
Yeah. Historically, we've had issues with Fnatic pushing high ground in the past, and that's why I'm never really confident ever saying like, oh, Fnatic got this game. There's no way that OpTic Gaming can come back, because oftentimes we'll see Envy be like, yeah, but let me get my 7th item, let me get my 8th item, and then maybe we can fight. I would be okay with them waiting for the next Roche, keep invading the enemy jungle, keep some mirror image or something inside the Roche pit, get that cheese, get that Aegis, but you've got a 16k net worth advantage, you've got BKBs on both your cores, you need to push high ground before OpTic Gaming get any of their heroes online.
Level 20 on Abed now. It's got the extra minus armor from the belt, so...
Well, Roche is up. Very early respawn.
They could certainly look for it, Fnatic. The sort of the team fight around the pit from OpTic, they've got a few things to offer, but again, it's very sort of hard to favor their team fight against a lineup that has the Song of the Siren to disrupt any sort of play around those sort of confined areas.
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely the safety is there for Fnatic to go for the Roshan if they do want to, and they are starting to head towards the pit. Head into the pit, and they're going to look for it. And whether OpTic Gaming can get out there, it doesn't look like they can.
No, I mean, they were aware of it. They keep sending the Spirit over here.
Yeah.
And, like, Fnatic aren't scared. Nor should they be.
Not at all. An incredibly speedy Roshan. Of course, thanks to the Templar Assassin. Abed will grab the Aegis. Bottom lane, Universe actually starting to kick some action off here. He leads him with the Rolling Thunder, looking to try and play around with Pycat, buying the time for the rest of the team to come in. They do really sort of need the TA if they want to have a chance of it, and with the Song of the Siren, they're going to be able to buy time for Abed to close in. He has turned himself into the Pangolier. Swashbuckles a bit to try and keep the distance. And
making some distance.
That might be enough to save him. He's into the trees. They're still looking, they're still chasing. They've got a vision from the trap. Just shield crash again with the Swashbuckle, creating the distance. He's going to have waveform back up in a second. In fact, he just goes for the straight TPA. Knows that there's no way to cancel it. Pycat will be able to keep himself alive.
And meanwhile, DJ dueling with 33 down here.
Oh.
Cask is going to connect.
Oh no. I mean, poor old 33, he's not been having a great game this match. He had a very slow start on the puck, and I mean, other than sort of that nice TP and Dreamcore play around the cliff where he was able to catch out Universe, it really feels like the side of OpTic haven't really been able to enable this puck and get anything done around 33.
No, and part of the reason is because he's gone for a somewhat aggressive build. He went for the Blink Dagger first. And sometimes, as a puck, whenever you're not having a great game, you maybe feel better going for a Veil first, so that you're like, I'll just farm, I suppose, because we're not going to get any kills. Because Blink Dagger is kind of like, I'm going to invade the enemy side of the map, and maybe one other hero comes with me, ideally like Rubik or ET or something like that. But they are so far behind that everyone on Fnatic, you're going to need like 4 heroes to kill any one Fnatic hero. Hell, even DJ is just the Witch Doctor. He's got the Glimmer Cape completed, and he's got almost like a quarter of his Aghanim Scepter on this Witch Doctor.
I think a Universe where he's got the Pipe and the Crimson Guard done now.
So of both.
And I like it. Pycat, he's just gone all in. He sort of queued up the Manta Star, but he's just saved up the money. He's brought the E-Blade. He knows that OpTic, they have to somehow be able to burst at least one member of Fnatic out of these fights. Pycat just having to go full super carry mode as quickly as he can.
Radiant's top
As I
tower
say,
is
if
under
he is
attack.
somehow able to swing this game, it's going to be incredible. But a 20k lead at 29 minutes with Fnatic up to the high ground, it's looking ever so hard for OpTic Gaming to swing this one around.
Yep, next creep wave universe is going to pipe up and set up the Crimson Guard, I imagine. There we go.
Using this tier 3, how can OpTic slow this down? 33 will jump forward, they'll look quickly with the nuke, bringing this TA very, very low. He does, of course, have the Aegis. And it looks like it won't even need to be popped. He backs away, the Vega Restoration is starting to heal up Ahmed. OpTic back off, they'll wait out the BKBs of Envy. And Envy ready to turn back towards this tier 3 tower. Lead forward with the orb. DJ has the Glimmer Cape, backing himself off. They've got the telekinesis onto Universe. In fact, they've managed to nuke him down. Bam! Pycat has the burst with the E-Blade to claim the life of Universe. And that will be enough to stop the push for the time being. Push Fnatic out of the base. So we're starting to see that little sort of glimmer of a chance that Pycat could provide his team with his Morphling performance.
Yeah, Abed was not expecting that, but to an extent, it may have been worth your best interest to just cash out the Aegis, because now they've all drawn back, and you don't really have the Aegis for that much longer anyway, so death or no death, you ended up not being able to claim a tier 3 tower. You still have Aegis on TA, you still have Cheese on Terrorblade, but you would have rather spent those. You were so far ahead in net worth, and both teams spent 10-second BKBs, but they're way more expensive on OG for a 10-second BKB. CCNC's, like, he got the Blink Dagger now, and the BKB, but that's really all he has. So if you wait out CCNC's BKB, you can come back into the fight as a Terrorblade with Metamorphosis, as a TA with an Aegis. But instead, Envy chooses to engage. They had Metamorphosis but don't take anything, Universe goes down, and the shotgun just took Templar Assassin by surprise.
We'll see how Fnatic will address their next attempt to try to break the base. They did manage to do a decent amount of damage to that tier 3 tower, but couldn't quite bring it down. Arved does now nearly have the money for the full-out Cypher Vice on top of the Orchid, which he did change his mind in the end back towards, rather than just going for the Nullifier on top of the Orchid. A bit more of that more reliable lockdown. That lockdown is going to help that little bit more against the Morphling, which, as we've seen, is starting to prove to be a little bit of a problem for Fnatic.
And Fnatic know how Pycat have to play, that this Orchid plus Scythe combination is going to be valuable all game long, because he's constantly going to have to be split pushing. He's constantly going to stay as far away from his team as possible.
Oh, look at this up top Pycat.
他在出羊刀，没有选择否决，因为觉得实在是太缺控制，这水人无法无天的在带线。他觉得一个羊刀已经做出来了，
一个羊一个紫月芒，反正不管放哪个，你水人走不了，基本上就秒了。
是的，因为他觉得否决了，就算你先否决再紫月，他能，就是他你只能进他一个嘛，他们要么开局仗，要么可以波走嘛。
对。而且上高队友都在，反正能控制第一手就后面都好打。
这边 OpTic 已经开始玩带线了，
玩命带，
就是
躲在玩帕克带，
躲在树林里面就等线出来带一波就跑。
帕克在做自己 A 仗，差2000块钱，这 A 出来的话，感觉还是能对对面大哥找到了。
这边找到了 TP，
33没感觉吗？进入感觉被卡了2下。
呀，有吹风应该能一走呀。真的是缺控制呀，这边反弹这个阵容。
这个地方的话，看起来离墙。
杨柱能秒掉吗？这水人很肉，有机会吗？没有机会了，
就差一刀，
甲太高了。
回头想反打，折光这边顶一下输出回来。
铁有盾开，不有没有盾了，
给你开了，这个位置
盾吗？
没盾。
盾是时间到了是吧？
对。
哇，
应该正好消吧？这个时间点看那个毒条正好消盾。
正好消盾的时间。
这波想办法了呀。
只能说优势局，这个龙骑士直接跳。
Now movement on the mid lane.
They are trying to fight him. He's got the BKB. Turns straight away towards PPD, brings one down. Now looks towards CCNC. There's going to be a buyback here from PPD. Wants to get into the fight. CCNC just getting destroyed here by the physical damage from Envy's Metamorphosis. They've taken down the DK. Looking for more. Here's Zai trying to set up for the stop. They get through it, then they'll go quickly with a nuke. That's going to be one kill taken by Pycat. Pycat has to be careful. Will turn into the Terrorblade. Instantly back out as he is able to use the stolen reflection. Pycat turns quickly with the nuke. He's actually able to get the double. He's taken down Envy. Honestly, Pycat, this is ridiculous. Universe will find 33, but Zai, PPD, they're still alive. He's going to look towards this with the burst. Can he finish it? The shield crash resistance helping Universe stay alive through the nuke damage. Universe will survive.
I like how this one.
But I mean, this is
I like
this is
how
a team that's
incredulous you are about this
mean,
whole thing. You're like, Pycat, you
it's-
stop it.
Fnatic. They were what 25k or so ahead.
Yes.
And they're still 22k ahead.
Yes.
But they're getting shaken up in these team fights.
Shaken up.
Pycat's getting these kills.
Waters rise.
Yeah. Believe me, everyone's seen this movie before. Any Fnatic fan, any Envy fan is well familiar with what is transpiring right now. And you just pray that all they do is just stick to a basic game plan. Right now, like, Abed was over in the bot lane, which, you know, I don't blame him for, but then he goes down to the Morphling, and then Terrorblade wants to join into these team fights. They already lost Abed. I mean, the decision-making at a certain point, you know you're this far ahead. You don't really need to do anything other than group up.
Let's see what Fnatic's next play is going to be, as we have seen, despite the advantage.
The thing is now, the next Roche, OpTic Gaming can easily contest. The first two were free. You've got the Riptide on Nagasiren, you've got Deso on the TA. You are able to clear out a Roche so quickly. But OpTic Gaming have more than enough resources to contest the third one, and the third one's going to be the Refresher Shard. They're smoked up, and it's an early Roche. Someone needs to place a sentry outside of the pit to make sure that TA can't find out if they want to go for it, or they want to pick.
It's on the low ground here. OpTic do have the high ground.
They see Naga.
Gonna try and burst him down, and they will. Pycat quick with the first kill to start the fight. Fnatic, they are still trying to lead forward to this. Universe blinks forward with the Rolling Thunder. They're looking for the lockdown onto Zai. Zai will be able to keep himself alive for now. He backs up with the Ghost Form. Envy comes in, cleans up the kill. They'll bring down Zai. Buyback immediately from Zai on the other side as he wants to get involved around this fight, around the pit. It's the BKB and Metamorphosis of Eternal Envy used. Abed just managed to turn with the Hex and takes down 33 and a couple of right clicks. There'll be a buyback from 33 as well. OpTic putting everything in to holding this fight around the Roshan pit. They cannot let this third Roshan go to Fnatic.
Yeah, exactly. They're committing all resources necessary, which is, again, it's a losing proposition, but it's their only play in this situation.
They are having to back up though because of the waves pushing in, and that may give Fnatic the time to get into the pit. You can see Fnatic a little bit wary of it still. Zai will pop out one more stomp. They are in, and OpTic Gaming have actually moved quite far away to deal with these lanes, so this will be enough time for Fnatic to get in and take the Roshan. Despite OpTic committing those two buybacks to maybe look for some sort of a play, they're unable to do so. Fnatic, they get the Roche, they get that Aegis and cheese.
That is a bit surprising.
And Refresher Shot.
I mean, they buy back, but like, Dragon Form was still running on CCNC. All the ultimates of OpTic Gaming were still available because 33 got instantly hexed, wasn't able to Dream Coil or anything. But yeah, despite all those buybacks, they end up giving up the Roche, and I don't really think there's that much like split push potential from Fnatic. It's not like there's like a lone Druid Bear who, if you spend too much time in the pit, is going to take one of your Raxes or Visage Familiars or something like that. But they move out. I guess they feel confident that even with Aegis on the Terrorblade, Cheese in the backpack of the Templar Assassin, and Refresher Shard is on Terrorblade backpack. So even with all that, OpTic Gaming are like, no, we're pretty sure we can still carry them with our Morphling.
Well, I mean, for Fnatic, this, you know, surely they have the tools to break at least a tier 3 tower.
Oh, you're right. I forgot a tier 3 never got claimed.
The tier 3s are all still standing, but as I said, the 25k ahead, they have the Refresher Shard, the Aegis, and the Cheese. Are they actually going to be able to push with it? At the moment, they're having to respond down bottom to the wave being shoved in by Pycat. Pycat just keeping that split push pressure up himself, so that it gets harder and harder for Fnatic to actually group up as 5 and try and go up to the high ground.
Yeah, at this point, Abed's best play may be to start parking a bunch of traps in the lane and start cutting creep waves with trap damage. He still has a lot of them in the mid lane, but the majority of them have been spread out through, were spread out throughout the Dire jungle, but PPD just got a bunch of money recently, so, well, actually he bought back. But he still actually has quite a bit of money. He almost has a Blink Dagger on this Rubik, so whatever the case, there's a lot of detection now. So might as well just start cutting creep waves and work your way to a high ground. Which they might be doing.
They're going to try it again, Fnatic. Bottom lane with the Metamorphosis ready to go. They'll look towards the tier 3 tower. Pycat's going to remain on the top lane for now. At least look for the tier 2 in trade. He does not have a TP available for 20 seconds. So they are going to have to hold without their big carry. That should mean the racks surely are in trouble. The fortification's been popped, has now come off. MV starting to poke away. He's going to commit the BKB. He wants these melee racks gone, and he will get them. This will be the bottom melee racks taken by Fnatic. Pi did get the tier 2 tower in return up top. See how he wants to back up, or if OpTic Gaming want to try and fight into this retreat. Still hard though, as Fnatic do have all the fruits of Roshan available. So they'll look towards the shrine, continuing to take these objectives and back on track to just increasing this net worth advantage they have, nearing 30,000.
Yeah, the decision to not defend that melee racks is just fine. You know that all these buybacks are spent. If you end up dying yet again on the side of OpTic, then you have guaranteed lost the game. Whereas right now, I mean, it's not great. It's never been great, but you're still in the game right now.
I mean, look how rich Arbed is. I mean, Arbed's got almost 7k gold in his bank on top of his items. I mean, what does he need to get?
Apparently looking for BOTs, which is kind of a split pushy item.
Yeah.
But he's pretty slotted out right now. He's got Blink, Orchid, BKB, Sheepstick, and the Desolator. Aside from upgrading boots and getting a Moon Shard, you're pretty much maxed out as a TA. And the Bloodthorn, I suppose.
Looks like Fnatic eyeing up the opportunity to push in once again. And this time, Pycat is back with the team, ready on the defensive.
Yeah, meta's down for another 40 seconds, so I think Fnatic are just hemming OpTic into the base, making sure that Pycat feels obligated to return back to Dire Fountain and not just continue split pushing. Well, 33 has completed an Aghanim Scepter now on this puck. And that means that you now have a method to stop the Rolling Thunder from Pangolier, because right now they have nothing. But now with a Spell Immune, Piercing, Disable, you can stop some of that chaos that Universe has been creating. Which I guess, yeah, since they never spent the previous cheese, Universe also has a cheese of his own. So there's a cheese on Pango and there's a cheese on TA.
Has fallen.
So yeah, but the Aegis and Refresher Shard, of course, on Envy.
Ooh, now Halberd completed for a DK. They're finding a surprising amount of farm.
They're getting these items, yeah, these sort of items that are going to make all the difference. You say the Ags on Puck, the Halberd on DK.
Because Abed does not have a Linken's, he has the BKB. And so if you blink disarm Abed, all of a sudden a team fight looks very, very simple to win.
And look at what Pycat has got his Butterfly complete on top of the E-Blade. So that extra bit of agi for the burst, but also that extra bit of agi for the punching, for when he does find himself in sort of these split positions, ready to sort of break towards the base.
And hell, the evasion even. Terrorblade, as we've seen so many times, is not a real keen on building MKB. And he ended up going for the Daedalus, so no Bloodthorn for him. Granted, TA has completed her Bloodthorn, so you do have some True Strike on the Morphling. But that means that you're not going to be silencing out these other menacing heroes either, which it's most likely guaranteed that Pycat is going to be silenced, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, PPD also managed to complete out a Blink Dagger. There's a lot of valuable things that you can steal this game as a Rubik.
As we said, this whole game could certainly fall apart for OpTic majorly if Fnatic can kill Pycat. He is the big scary threat on OpTic's lineup. The one thing that's really sort of keeping them in the game. And even though Fnatic, they're 33k net worth ahead, they're looking to push onto this tier 3 tower. Arbed level 24 on his TA at this stage.
Aegis was reclaimed shortly before, but Envious swapped out to put the Refresher Shard in his inventory. Meanwhile, bot lane is still pushing in since the melee racks was claimed. So it's in Fnatic's best interest to just stall, wait for the DK Dragon Form to time out. You have a Refresher Shard for Metamorphosis, and they activate it actually. And they activates the Refresher Shard, so I think this is like some sort of fake back, kind of. Because right now, OpTic have no vision on the map whatsoever. They can basically see the top right quadrant inside their base, and that is it. So if they suspect that Envy does not have Metamorphosis right now, but never mind, he shows himself and he shows that the Refresher Shard is no longer in his inventory, activates Metamorphosis again, so they just want to play it clean.
Good. Committing for the push. Tier 3 tower will be taken. EPD jumps in, they're looking to burst down Envy, they'll do it straight away. Envy gone for 80 seconds. The song will come out from Adam as the rest of them look to back up, but with the BKBs, Pycat still able to chase a little bit. Oh, can't quite get the adaptive strike to connect in time. Adam's able to TP out. But again, these pushes being stopped by the power of the Morphling.
That is a ridiculous amount of bursts, and this is partly because Envy has gone for a very damage-dealing build. He's gone Sanjin, Yasha, Daedalus, and Hurricane Pike. Not that traditional kind of Scotty or Butterfly or other types of survivability items, and so he is very, very susceptible to getting shotgunned. You got offensive null field on the Rubik.
Tower is under attack.
It's plenty of armor if you're a Terrorblade, but that's not what you need against this magic damage on OpTic Gaming.
We'll see this again. You know, instantly, they find a telekinesis. That's all they need. Just something to hold Envy in position to allow Pycat to absolutely blow him up.
And there are no Lincoln Spheres on the sides of Fnatic, and so you can't really stop that from happening right now. I wouldn't be surprised if someone on the side of Fnatic was like, might need to build something to protect Envy. I told you, it's an escort mission. He's gonna keep dying if you don't protect him.
And this place of the game as well, CCNC starting to get items. He's got the GPM talent, so he's getting the free money, and he has managed to pick up a Heart of Taras, so he's going to be able to slowly but surely scale his way into sort of these later stages of the game.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the GPM talent. A lot of people are pretty much, they automatically go to the 2x Dragon Blood, but a lot of times DK is played utility oriented, and he's got items like Halberd, Blink. He's got the Heart completed. He is so tanky. Why would you really need the 2x Dragon Blood? But now he's going to work his way to a Mjolnir. You put that on someone like the Morphling, and all of a sudden, even whenever Terrorblade wants to attack them, I mean, ideally he's going to put it on himself to make sure that there's a bunch of magic damage shooting around from the static shield, but there's no way to perch it off. No nullifiers on the side of Fnatic either. But they're going for the fourth rush now.
And they go. They'll take it very quickly, very easily. Do they still have any of the cheeses left from before?
I thought you called them sweets.
The sweets, or the fruits of Roshan.
Yes, they have the Templar Assassin still has the cheese.
Okay.
And now Naga Siren takes the other cheese. And for Shard and Aegis onto the Terrorblade.
The Nullifier now finished for Abed.
Abed is struggling for slots, that means. Yeah, I mean, he swaps it out with his boots.
They've got everything for the single target. You know, they've got that Nullifier.
And they've got everything offensive for the single target. For defensive single target, literally nothing.
They've got the Lotus on Universe.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah, that's
a little bit of, sort of protection in that sort of sense. And Adam, of course, did pick up a Cypher Vice on the Naga Siren too, to play offensively. But as we've been seeing with Pycat's positioning, they just haven't been able to lock down this Morphling at all before he gets the burst damage out.
I mean, they haven't even been able to start fights, really. The Universe was so aggressive in the early stages of the game, but we've been seeing him sit back a lot. Part of the advantage of picking out a Pangolier is to create a whole bunch of chaos, kind of like Brewmaster style. But because he has these items like the Pipe and the Crimson Guard and the Lotus Orb also, he wants to make sure that he can activate them in a team fight when absolutely necessary, but sometimes you should dictate the pace of when it's necessary rather than play reactionary.
I mean, how long? I was gonna say, how long has it been since? Well, have a look at the net worth graph. Like, how long has it been where they've had at least a 20k net worth lead? It's been a while now, hasn't it? It's been a while.
It's been a damn long while. I mean, they've had a net worth lead since minute 0, but yeah. No. I mean, this is Fnatic Dota, my friend.
I mean, understandably they're worried, because as we've seen each time they push, they know that somebody's going to get absolutely destroyed by this Morphling.
Yep.
They're going to try. They're going to commit. Envy pops the BKB, has the Lotus Orb on him as well from Universe. They focus the racks. Fortification comes out, now the BKB's worn off.
Pops the Shard though, so he can activate it again.
It's going to get him, they're going to try and burst him once, but the song's there. from Adam. Can they do anything with this? They're looking for the timing so Universe can set up into the stun. Does he get it over the Pycat morphing? He does. Pycat's going to be able to pop the BKB. Turns, starts to punch into the Envy. He has the BKB available once again. He'll turn with the Sunder onto CCNC. They do get the back. The route onto Pycat. He's taking a lot of damage here from the TA. They've got the Hex, the Maledict on him. Pycat trying to get himself back up to the high ground. Can he keep himself alive? Universe comes to the short forward against the death. Pycat fully incredible. He's able to win, fall back, but Ahmed's in with the Hex. Gets the kill. Pycat bites back immediately. Universe with the swashbuckle focusing towards Zai, but Zai is going to be able to keep himself alive or not. The reflection is going to kill him. It's not. Zai will live. Pycat's back in. Blows up the TA. Looking towards his next target. He's found Adam. Adaptive strike comes through. The Lotus Orb is out onto him, but it's not going to keep Adam alive. Adam will fall as well. So again, I mean, sure, Pycat had to buy back, but OpTic, they're holding. They're getting the big kills. They're able to kill off the TA. They push Fnatic away, and they keep that top set of racks alive.
And while the net worth advantage basically continues to stagnate, experience is going heavily in the favor of OpTic, about to hit a break-even point. It's a buyback on the Morphling, and that is obviously a terrible situation. But if you can turn that into a buyback on the Templar Assassin, you can manage to threaten high ground.
Oh yeah, they need to, yeah, as you say, if they can get out the TA buyback.
Problem is you got a lot of glyphs. First glyph was just spent, now it's refreshed.
But you can push incredibly quickly with this Morphling.
Absolutely can.
But it is risky, as you say. If Pycat is to fall, then, I mean, that should absolutely be a big enough window for Fnatic to close the game up.
And despite all that combat, no more Raxes are claimed. Eventually, the bottom range Rax did get taken down by melee creeps, but on the top, still all the structures remain. All that commitment, Refresher Shard, refreshed BKB, refreshed Metamorphosis on the Terrorblade, a really nice counter initiation on Adam with the song. So initially, the Terrorblade walked up to the high ground, and it was like mere frames before the Lotus Orb and the BKB were activated as CCNC jumps in, trying to get the Dragon Tail, trying to get that initiation before he activates that spell immunity on the Terrorblade, but didn't work. Thankfully, OpTic Gaming were still not too heavily committed. CCNC basically walks out, and during the duration of the song, Envy had the potential to activate a BKB and go back in, but all of OpTic knew that that's the only target that they need to kill. They focused him down, tried to get a Sunder off, and just had to back off.
Pycat, his next time that he's queuing up is going to be the Satanic, that extra sort of survivability that will allow him to sort of get in with the first nuke and then stand his ground. Just go for the right clicks, buy the time to keep himself alive, keep punching the physical damage out until the cooldowns are available for him to go for that second nuke.
And now a smoke up on Fnatic. Maybe baiting out Universe here.
Oh, he's looking for a target, does get the bash onto 33, tries for the Rolling Thunder, but the 33 is out of there with the John. Quick waveform away from Pycat as OpTic head themselves back towards the base. It'll be fine for now. Pycat, he has got the Satanic complete. Adam? But the song, do they have any sort of follow-up? It doesn't look like it.
And backdoor protection's up. So that's a Metamorphosis spent, that's a song spent.
33.
Close.
A couple of frames too late there with that Dream Coil. As he will not catch anybody.
But another defense. For better or for worse. And the next Roche has potential to respawn in 2 minutes. I believe that's the 5th Roche, I want to say. And somehow I'm not surprised that Fnatic are probably going to wait for that. One nice thing is that Rubik has managed to steal out Templar Assassin traps. And so, even though OpTic Gaming have been stuck in their base for an eternity, EBD is starting to get some vision around the map. And they didn't catch out that smoke that Fnatic just went for, but the idea is to start placing some vision, and they've got one in the Roche pit, and that is the most valuable one.
Yeah, Envy's nearly got the
Link.
So, I mean, how close is he to sort of have the money for Lincoln Sphere and buyback?
And buyback. So
is that
I think he's probably going to get like another 1,000 gold, and then he'll feel content going forward.
Because he's understandably he's going to want to play safe, especially if it's sort of the stage where he doesn't have the Aegis.
Absolutely.
He knows that a death at this point, especially when people are hitting level 25, you cannot afford to die without buyback.
No.
Even though you're 36k ahead, no. It's a crazy position.
Doesn't mean anything in an Envy game, man.
That's true.
It's absolutely nothing.
I don't know
net
when
worth is just a number.
I've last seen a game where the net worth difference has been so high, but
I think there was one fairly recently with
for
Fnatic.
such a long duration. You know what I mean?
A sustained lead. Like usually, sometimes the enemy team will get a huge lead, and then like the other team will start whittling it down. But no, it has been rock solid and yet nothing changes.
And I don't know what it is. I know that a lot of sort of other analysts and sometimes say it's they're not really fans of the TA because of this reason. It can get to the point where a TA is absolutely massive, but then it feels like you can't really end the game with her. Even though Abed, you know, he's played phenomenal. He is incredibly huge on this hero, but it just feels a little weird that he's so big, but it doesn't, you don't look at it and say, right, you've won the game, go and finish it.
Most other cores with a 39,000 net worth, the game has been over for a long time. But Templar Assassin she's very single target focused, and she's very physical damage focused, and there's really no other way to build her. And she can't really siege very well because she has minimal range, and all of her survivability is dependent on the enemy team not being able to attack you quickly. And at 54 minutes in, hell, even Zai is going to be willing to walk in and punch you as a Templar Assassin versus an ET. And so, yeah, in that respect, TA is a liability a lot of times in the late game, but you've got Terrorblade, though. And in theory, Terrorblade can guaranteed win games. Also, it is worth mentioning that Envy ended up going for the Metamorphosis attack range talent at 25 instead of the Sunder cooldown talent.
Okay.
Just putting that out there. Everyone can make their own interpretations of that decision.
Yeah, we've seen that happen in some games. I mean, some games there's sort of the understandable reason where you feel under no sort of threat or something. You don't feel like you're going to get lit up. But this is a game where against a Morphling, there's a very high chance you are going to get bursted pretty damn low, at least a couple of times in the team fights.
Absolutely, especially seeing as that, again, he didn't go for any defensive items. He has the Lincolns completed, but no Scotty, nothing to really tank them up. Being able to weave in and out of a fight with Sunder would be pretty valuable, and they're not really sieging with this Metamorphosis attack range. Like, everyone can close the gap on Envy.
It's absolutely crazy. I mean, DJ, he's sort of loving the slow pace. He's getting the items. He's nearly as farmed as Universe. He's got a BKB on top of an Aghanims on this Witch Doctor. I mean, we're seeing how much that Death Ward can do.
Well, we saw how much the Death Ward could do in like the first 25 minutes of the game.
A little less so at this sort of an hour, 60-minute mark that we're slowly approaching.
Yeah.
But Roshan's back up, Fnatic, they're into the pit, and they'll be able to get this. I believe this is the 5th Roshan of the game.
And Adam has a gem, so they were able to kill PPD's trap, so OpTic really can't do anything about it. But somehow I feel that you get all these sweets, and then what happens?
So how are we doing on the cheese front? Have they managed to stock up a few now? We've got 2 cheeses on Adam.
Yeah, they got a refrigerator. You got a cheese on Abed in the backpack, you got a cheese on Adam, you got 2 cheeses stacked,
2 cheeses on Adam,
and you got a cheese on DJ in his backpack.
Oh, MV is going to be jumped towards, quickly slides himself up the cliff. See, all the cheeses.
Cheeses, man.
The Fnatic fondue. See if it's enough, though. Again, they're slowly getting in position up here, but
I'm super impressed that OpTic have managed to keep all the other lanes pushed out. That, like, your tier 4s haven't gotten threatened yet, because these heroes are not great at pushing. None of them have, like, cleave. You've only really got a right-clicker of Morphling. Puck's magic damage doesn't do very much at this stage of the game against, like, the upgraded creeps in the bot lane. Yet, somehow, the right tier 4 is somewhat damaged, but they're still pretty healthy. And it's 57 minutes in against a 38,000 net worth advantage.
Did, I believe, Abed just gave a moonshot to Envy? He did?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, what a bro. He gave it to Envy before himself.
Well, for the reasons that we said before, TA is kind of basically just, her net worth is in her items, obviously, but her use is also in her items. And I guess traps.
Let's see. I mean, Fnatic, are they going to try and commit again for this push? They've got all the cheeses. CCNC jumps in, goes for a quick stun. Backs himself away, Universe coming in with a swashbuckle, but CCNC keeps his distance. He's up on the high ground, trying to clear out these illusions. Fnatic, they want to get in, they pop the Metamorphosis, Envy in with the BKB, looking towards the rain tracks. Fortification comes out from OpTic. The BKB now worn off on Envy. He does have the refresher shot, but it is in his backpack at the moment.
CNC is so incredibly tanky right now. Doesn't really have that much armor, he only has 22 armor, which is kind of low for a DK, but a lot of raw HP.
Oh, well turned. They look for the burst off to Envy. They're bringing him down low. They go for the wait for him. They've taken the Aegis out of his hands. That's
What a
one
stop.
kill onto Terrorblade. Can they do it again? They've got the Earth Splitter coming in. Jump forward for Universe. He has the Rolling Thunder. Pycat puts the BKB. Waveforms up to high ground, but now they turn. The song comes out. The BKB is there for CCNC, so we can bring down Universe. The focus fire is there from Envy, though. He stands to the side. He's trying to bring down CCNC, but he can't quite do it. Now with the jump forward, OpTic, they're ready to try and chase down for more kills. The Hex is down onto PPD. Envy puts the BKB, but look at the damage here coming out. Envy's going to fall, but they have killed on Pycat. Pycat has buyback available. Is he going to commit with it, though? That's the question he is. Pycat will buy back. OpTic trying to chase for more out of this as Fnatic. They will retreat. They pull back themselves on Universe. Balls forward onto CCNC. Can he find a catch here? That's the question. TP out from DJ will be fine. He Glimmer Capes, TP's out of there.
Precious bounty.
The rest of Fnatic get out, but again, the racks still stand top. Fnatic didn't get the barracks. They didn't even get the range racks.
No, the only thing you got out of that was creeps were able to push down the first tier 4 tower. 59 minutes and the first tier 4 tower goes down. The Lincoln's is burned off by, the main thing is a lot of itemization was spent on decoys. OpTic Gaming, like PPD walked forward, he got bloodthorned by the Templar Assassin. And then Puck kind of moves around and something popped her Lincoln's. I don't think it was a sheepstick because the sheepstick was used on someone else, but whatever the case, like, Pycat was waiting for his moment, and all he needs to do is just shotgun down the Terrorblade. They burn through the Aegis, and then at that point, only Universe is like, okay, it's time for me to jump in. He goes in, and 33 has been sitting on that Dream Coil. He snaps the Rolling Thunder Pangolier. He's stunned forever. Since he activates the BKB during the sleep, is managing to kill off the Pangolier. And again, no structures claimed, refresher shards spent, Aegis spent, and quite a few cheeses actually. They had to dip into their reserves. I think now Naga Siren has 1 cheese, and Templar Assassin has 1. Oh, never mind. They only spent 1 cheese on the Naga Siren. They still got 3 cheeses on Abed, Adam, and DJ.
As an E-Blade on Zynap, he's ready to join in with the burst.
Burst or preservation?
Sure.
I think he wants to make sure that Pycat doesn't die to this Terrorblade after he spends his E-Blade offensively. Zai will protect the Morphling with the defensive E-Blade.
I mean, as we've seen, Fnatic, they can kill Pycat, and it is that timing window where Pycat's buyback, it's unavailable for 6 minutes. If Fnatic can force a fight like they just did again, they could have the potential of ending this game.
Could have the potential.
I mean, it feels like we've been in a position.
Net worth, maybe they could do it.
I mean, that's the thing. This game, as I say, it's been 20 to 30k ahead for Fnatic for it was about 25 minutes onwards. It feels like, but it just doesn't seem to matter. OpTic are holding onto the game. This Pycat Morphling has it's got OpTic through the roughest of patches in this game so far.
Yeah.
But it's just a question of whether it's going to be enough for them to actually turn around and take the win themselves, or if it is slowly but surely going to be Fnatic closing this game up. But very slowly.
Very slowly.
So emphasis on the slowly.
And CC is just like devastatingly large. I mean, just I'm in awe at the size of this lad.
150 GPM, my friend.
1 range X claimed.
Here we go. CCNC's going to try and jump in. Lotus Orb upon the DK. BKB's out from Envy. He's got the Lincoln's on him as well. Will be forced back to safety. OpTic, do they want to try and jump out onto this one? It's pretty scary at the moment. Again, Fnatic will back off. I mean, sure, they can wait for Roshan again if they really want to, but that is also waiting for the time where buyback is going to be available for Pycat again. Surely you should feel the power to push, and they do not have the double damage picked up by him.
Smoke up on Dire. And 33 is waiting. PPD's kind of moving in, but Naga Siren Illusions are going to try to get some vision. One of the disadvantages of going for the Metamorphosis attack range talent is like, you don't have vision at the high ground, it doesn't really matter, because you have to go breach the stairs regardless, and at that point you're already in the range of your normal Metamorphosis.
And what's DJ gonna buy? He's got 6k gold. I mean, I'd like to see it, but...
Where's the talent where it's like turn your right click and
we're gonna see some crazy 25. What's the 25 on Witch Doctor? I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's not that great. So he's got 75 Death Ward damage on the left side, or plus 1.5% max health Voodoo Restoration on the right side. Which
I mean, I guess the Voodoo Restoration is what you take, right? I mean, plus 75 is that really anything at this stage of the game?
It means nothing.
Nah.
And I'm actually kind of surprised that Adam didn't opt for the Aghanim Scepter this time on the Nagasai. We've seen on occasion he goes to it in the previous series, I believe against Na'Vi, he went for it in either 1 or 2 of the games. It wasn't that great, so I'm not like that broken up that he didn't go for it, but he's been getting some excellent counter initiations and buying time for Fnatic to get some positioning done. It's just that it's really only positioning for the Terrorblade. Like, Rolling Thunder is proving to be not very effective when comboed with the Naga Sleep, and Fnatic said that they think Pango's very broken, but they haven't really been able to unlock his potential. It requires a lot of practice, and we're starting to see the impact right now. Like, if this was Universe Void, completely different game.
It really feels that not just Universe, but also Abed. These two sort of heroes, the TA and the Pangolier,
not built for this stage of the game.
No, it's incredibly hard to have an impact with them at this stage, despite how much farm these cores do have. At 64 minutes in, as we're seeing, you know, Abed is very much having to wait on Envy to sort of bait in the action, bait in the fight, so then Abed can follow up and find the position to get the damage done. But even then, the amount of sort of items, not just built up by Fnatic, but from OpTic as well.
BPD, very quick reaction, almost gets initiated on by a DJ. Yeah, the weird thing is that now supports are starting to become very, very effective. Like you mentioned DJ, the Elder Titan, that E-Blade, we haven't really seen the potential of it, but it's going to be invaluable at saving his cores. He's got the Lotus Orb completed as well. He could go for an Aghanim Scepter. He's actually queuing up Refresher Orb. I do think that maybe the Aghanim Scepter with the disarm could be pretty valuable, but they're not really landing huge ET splits. It's mainly just a tool to discourage Fnatic from getting into position, so it's not that big of a deal. If he goes for the Refresher Orb, then that means that, like, even after a Naga Sleep, you can still muck up some initiation from the side of Fnatic. Oh, no, Vlad's now, actually.
I mean, that's an item we don't see that often anymore.
That's very weird also, I think, because the armor isn't that great at this stage of the game, and it's more like an early pushing item. I guess maybe he wants the lifesteal aura, so that in these team fights, and like Pycat has the Satanic completed, so
it does help when you've sort of got the 1 racks down against you. So you know when sort of the weaker heroes are trying to push out the stronger creeps.
Very true.
It's always nice to have when those stronger creeps are against you.
Yeah. I got a smoke up on Fnatic approaching from the south.
This might catch OpTic off guard. Envy.
33.
He's going to look towards him straight away. They've got the Hex. They've got the Silence. And they've got the damage. That's going to be 33 taken down. Fnatic now looking to retreat after finding that quick pick off. A nice aggressive movement into the base, catching 33 off guard. Down for 100 seconds. He does have buyback available. Roshan is also back in 30.
And a double damage room on the north side that Templar Assassin is aware of since she has it trapped up.
So they'll see very shortly Rosh respawn, and again, this will be the 6th Roshan.
I believe that's correct.
In the game here that Fnatic will be primed and ready to take. But of course, with all this time that's gone by, as you can see on the buyback statuses, Pycat's buyback will once again be available.
Yeah, and he's got plenty of money as well. He's sitting on 5.8k in his bank right now. Looking towards the Silver Edge. And they're gonna let this double damage rune linger. They're going to take Roche without it.
They got a 3rd Cypher Vice now on Fnatic as DJ will invest his money. So 3 hexes.
3 hexes.
An Abyssal Blade on Universe.
And a Partridge and a Paratray.
And now a Shadow Blade on Envy. A way to sneak in. Swap the Shadow Blade out.
I guess he really liked that smoke play. He was like, guys, that worked out really well.
Yeah.
Why don't I just do it by myself next time?
Late game Shadow Blades can be very, very sort of impactful as...
All these kind of mid game like Blade Mail also.
Yeah. And of course we saw the AC being picked up by Arbed, so that extra sort of item to swap in to add for the sort of the game-ending siege that they're searching for. He's also managed to get himself a Moonshard. Now the jump, CCC trying to come in, the BKB will be popped straight away from Envy. Buyback's going to be there from 33, Envy moving up to the high ground, trying to beat into the rack, so the fortification comes out. BKB popped by CCC, they're jumping forward, looking to burst down Envy, but they haven't got enough burst. The Song's there, taken off, trying to set up the Rolling Thunder, but Python gets the chance to put the BKB. The Sunder does come in, putting Envy back up to full health. He's got the Refresher Shard in his inventory, ready to use as well. He will be able to steal the traps, you know, jump forward. CCNC Universe actually coming in for the side with a defensive E-Blade there from Zai. Buys some time for PPD, but the Abyssal Blade comes down from Universe. They'll take PPD, they'll take CCNC, both buying back immediately. Armin pops the BKB himself, looks to finish off the racks in the middle lane, and Fnatic will finally claim a second set of racks here from middle. Now they'll move up towards the top.
Well, they want Mega's last rack standing. Can you do it?
Abed gets the Hex off here onto Pycat. Pycat in a lot of trouble. The Deathfall down as well. He's taking a lot of damage. Pycat, can he survive this one? He can't. Pycat will fall. He'll buy back immediately. CCC again, getting sundered. Brought down low. MV trying to get himself away, but there's no turn. They've finished up PPD. Pycat wave falls forward. They'll be able to take the Aegis out of the hands here of MV. CCNC being focused by Adam in Universe. They're trying to back him off with the Maledicts. Too much. CCNC will pop. Zai to 33. Turning towards MV, but MV keeps himself alive. They're going to win the game here. Fnatic have finally done it at 69 minutes in. Despite OpTic Gaming's best attempts, despite Pycat best attempts to keep this game going in their favor, they lose up game one here.
56,000 gold net worth on the side of Fnatic, 69 minutes in, and somehow they only barely managed to eke out a victory over OpTic Gaming.
I mean, it was what a struggle OpTic Gaming put up indeed, and I mean, what a game! What just a crazy game between these two teams. I mean, the amount of items that they had to build up.
Promising going forward.
The problem was that they could not leave the base. They couldn't play Dota. They were just defending the ancient. Maybe that's actually maybe that's actually playing the game. But I don't know. feels like Fnatic was just stuck in the base. Oh, sorry, OpTic was stuck in the base and just defending. They had a great tools to defend. You have Elder Titan with his Spirit action, magical reduction. Then you have Rubik with the offensive null field, and there comes the damage. I mean, they blow up Terrorblade with 2000 HP with just a shotgun from that extra magic damage.
And the Shadowblade purges at 60 minutes.
Yeah, the envy giveth and the envy taketh, and he's your MVP. They do manage to close it out. But yeah, what you were saying, the point that you were saying earlier about the Aeon discs, Lacoste, to me typifies so much of the frustrations with Fnatic. You know that they're aware of these strats. I mean, they built 3 Aeon discs in a game against an opposing Tiny that was way out in front and really locked him down in that game. You know that they're capable of executing strategies, that they're aware of these different variations, and yet it feels in so many of these games like they just kind of keep banging their heads against the wall.
We go back to the decision making. And in his interview talked about how they need more to listen to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is all his decision, but they need to man up a little bit and risk something to gain something.
No, that's
Be more
exactly
decisive,
right.
for sure.
I can't say it enough. You know, all 5 players executing a suboptimal strategy will usually beat 5 guys with different ideas, even if those ideas are better. And you know, I just don't think it's fair that we, as funny as it could be, I don't think it's fair that we put it all on Envy.
That's true. It's a team game for a reason. It was a game going the way of Fnatic, though. Despite all the hardships during that game and all the problems that we point out that they might or might not have, they did manage to take that first game off OpTic. There's going to be, obviously, a second game, though. At least, maybe even a third, depending on how OpTic performs. Before that happens, we are taking a short break. We'll be right back. OpTic taking on Fnatic here in the second semi-finals for finals day here at StarLadder ImbaTV Invitational. It is 1-up in favor of Fnatic, and OpTic will have the chance of making a comeback here in the second game. It is going to be a tough one. I mean, even if we do just forget about the last 50 minutes or so of that previous game, which was 17 minutes long, it was Fnatic that was ahead the whole time. And that was not the way that OpTic obviously was planning on having this game go. So how are they going to change their laning stage? Because I think that's where it all started.
Yeah, but that's why I think I can't recall another 1-0 lead where I've felt as good about the position of the team that's behind, because we've seen OpTic make this adjustment. This is exactly where they got tripped up in the second game of their series against Kinguin on Thursday. They made that adjustment, focused their draft in the second game on the laning matchups, and came back and were fine. You start with the lanes, and the rest of the game will unfold as it does.
I think the lanes were alright. Maybe if they played the same matchup, the outcome could have been a bit different in favor of OpTic. Maybe we could blame it on the rotations from the supports. If they rotated maybe in a better manner, it could have been a bit different. They pretty much got crushed in all three lanes.
And it was not just, like, you can't really pin it on one hero, right? It was not specifically a drafting.
I think maybe it is a thing that you do as a team. You talk about the lanes, and you talk a little bit about early rotations during the draft. So it might have played a role that at the very end they ended up, I think they were planning on having DK be offlane most of the draft. They ended up shifting Puck into the offlane after the last pick TA to dodge that laning matchup. So maybe that played a role with a little bit of last minute change up in the lanes. But yeah, you need to execute better, as Lacoste was saying.
Yeah, when I mentioned that they should have rotated better, I meant considering the draft they had. I don't feel the draft was bad. I just think the execution was not the best early.
Let's see if they can do better this time. We have another Naga Siren on the side of Fnatic. They themselves ban out the Witch Doctor, by the way, and we are getting things off here with Universe's Beastmaster.
Again, with two Vision heroes opening, Naga Siren is such a hard hero to play against. Position 5 Naga, where she gives the Vision, always have that spell to cancel the fight, provides the Roche capability, which I personally think it's OP. You should sleep Roshan as well. And Beastmaster with his Vision helps the Dominator. Hawk, it's gonna be a tough game
turn to ban.
From OpTic. They're gonna need a good
Radiant team turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Fanatics turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Fnatic's turn to pick.
OpTic taking on Fnatic here in the second semi-finals for finals day here at StarLadder ImbaTV Invitational. It is 1-up in favor of Fnatic, and OpTic will have the chance of making a comeback here in the second game. It is going to be a tough one. I mean, even if we do just forget about the last 50 minutes or so of that previous game, which was 70 minutes long, it was Fnatic that was ahead the whole time. And that was not the way that OpTic obviously was planning on having this game go. So how are they going to change their laning stage? Because I think that's where it all started.
That's why I think I can't recall another 1-0 lead where I've felt as good about the position of the team that's behind, because we've seen OpTic make this adjustment. This is exactly where they got tripped up in the second game of their series against Kinguin on Thursday. They made that adjustment, focused their draft in the second game on the laning matchups, and came back and were fine. You start with the lanes, and the rest of the game will unfold as it does.
I think the lanes were right. Maybe played the same matchup, the outcome could have been a bit different in favor of OpTic. Maybe we could blame it on the rotations from the supports. If they rotated maybe better manner, it could have been a bit different. They pretty much got crushed in all.
And it was not just, like, you can't really pin it on one hero, right? It was not specifically a drafting.
I think maybe it is a thing that you do as a team. You talk about the lanes, and you talk a little bit about early rotations during the draft. So it might have played a role that at the very end
they ended up, I think they were planning on having DK be offlane most of the draft. They ended up shifting Puck into the offlane after the last pick PA to dodge that laning matchup. So maybe that played a role with a little bit of last minute change up in the lanes. But yeah, you need to execute better, as Lacoste was saying.
Yeah, when I mentioned that they should have rotated better, I meant considering the draft they had. I don't feel the draft was bad. The execution not the best early.
Well, let's see if they can do better this time. We have another Naga Siren on the side of Fnatic. They themselves ban out the Witch Doctor, by the way, and we versus Beastmaster.
Again, with two Vision heroes opening, Naga Siren is such a hard hero to play against. Position 5 Naga, where she gets the Vision, always have that spell to cancel the fight, provides the Roche capability, which I personally think the OP.
5 seconds
Sean
remaining.
Master with his Vision, Helm of the Dominator, Hawk. It's gonna be a tough game to play from OpTic. They're gonna need a good Vision hero for themselves, probably. How they already picked a Tusk on Night Stalker. Could go to the offlane. Get rid of the Vision.
Yeah, Razor can also have, as a core, some difficulty dealing with these summon strats like we saw from Fnatic last night. And any long game like we saw in the previous set, a hidden factor in that is always that the team that's ahead is having trouble controlling the lane equilibrium. And Beastmaster gives you a lot more control over that as the game goes on. He's an excellent split pusher, lets you make sure that those other lanes are in your favor so that that split pushing Morphling isn't always going to force you to make these trades.
They're going to need one more catch hero inside of OpTic. I don't think Tusk will be enough. That's not kind of a reliable stun that I'm looking in. Yeah, like a Disruptor should be alright.
Fnatic's turn
Beastmaster,
to ban.
Naga Siren, and this is the hero that we both teams love to play Visage as well. We didn't see game number 1 gets banned in second game.
Yeah, and the fact that OpTic does not ban out Disruptor is a good as well, as you do not want to face that with the Naga Siren combined.
And one of the things OpTic may have been thinking about even coming in, they took away the Visage via the ban, but they have to make Fnatic think twice about picking the Lone Druid just because of the presence of the Razor.
I was just about to mention the Lone Druid. The Fnatic loves to run, but against the Razor is not great hero.
So, previous game we had 6 Roshan, and OpTic was not able to get a single one of them, right?
Nope.
So, should they draft something that can deal better with Roshan as well? Should they try to, like, you don't ever, I don't think you ever plan a game to go 70 minutes long, but them having a better shot at taking
maybe they do when you play against the Eternal Envy.
Maybe that, you want to have that plan B, but you want to also be able to take Roshan, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be hard to take the Roche. We'll need to take a fight before because of all the Vision heroes that Fnatic has already.
And Song.
Hey, that's a Roshan hero.
Song is just... Song is the single best ability in the game around the Roche pit. Yeah.
Underlord is still in the pool. Fnatic is not gonna pick it. They have a Beastmaster as their offlaner, but OpTic might.
Very much on the table for OpTic, and I would actually like that tempo-wise.
But I think we mentioned that we didn't see 33 play.
No,
the Underlord.
I looked at the drafts, and he actually did play it the other day. Played it on the first day of the tournament, and I think it's one of those heroes that, you know, after you watch DAC, even if it's not your favorite as a pro, you're probably going out and spamming that in pubs. So I think you're going to see a lot of Underlord players in the pro ranks, at least until it gets nerfed in the next patch.
At this point, if you're an offlaner and you can't play Underlord, you're gonna have a problem.
No. You're not gonna be on a good team.
Alright, so Fnatic, they managed to pick up the Vengeful Spear. We've seen Vengeful earlier this week. They actually got it played against them by Na'Vi.
And it's a flex pick for them. They will run Eternal Envy as a farming Venge in the trial lane situation, and I like that a lot. Especially with the high armor Naga Siren. She's probably one of the better melee heroes in a trial lane situation. Also gives Beastmaster that 1v1 that most of the time he can excel at.
Maybe they'll still considering the Lone Druid pick, getting the Venge, carry or a support, and if they build around Lone Druid there takes all the damage from the Dead Prophet ulti, but static link.
You know who
Not
I wish
great.
were still a hero? Winter Wyvern. I miss Winter Wyvern against the Aura strats. I always
That's a
liked
good
that
call.
pick, but it's just been so far out of favor.
I don't feel that hero is that weak. Like it's underused. Copy what the others are doing.
Maybe, yeah. I still think it definitely, like, I actually really like the hero. And the last few times I've played it, it has felt not quite as imposing as it has in the past. But Winter's Curse is just such a kind of a fun ability.
Yeah. Later on, that would be great round to Roche Pit as well.
Oh.
But late game is great as well.
Probably gonna see some
Not
more
the
here.
flavor of the month.
Rubik's still on the table.
Yes. We are looking for a PPD here. Play Rubik.
As well as you could just kind of looking ahead. Oh, the AA. Okay, nope. The AA
It's
got
banned
first
out.
banned. Yep.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
Alright, it's a Dazzle.
I was thinking about Dazzle yesterday. Someone posted on Reddit that such a garbage hero and like 1% has 1% rate or something like
10
that. But
seconds remaining.
Very
that's-
sad.
yeah, I
No,
mean,
he's got like he's in some of the, certain of the skill brackets. He has a 1% pub pick rate or something like that.
Yeah.
He just feels so defensive. The minus armor is nice, but the buff that he got in 7.1.2 was like to one of the worst skills in the game in Poison Touch. It just felt so pointless.
Poison Touch is so good in scenarios.
It's true.
If you want to run it or in Dazzle, then long. But after he gets, let's say, level 3, he's not aggressive at all. He just becomes fully defensive hero, and you don't want to skill more than 1 point in Poison Touch because your other skills are way too good.
So what's the logic in picking it up here? Why does it fit?
Oh, the double save for the Death Prophet.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Snowball save, you got the Shallow Grave. She's going to get that full duration Exorcism off in the middle of the fight, and that's it's not just about keeping her alive. Remember, much of the damage from Exorcism comes from Death Prophet's positioning her ability to stay next to those enemy heroes so that the ghosts can cycle back and forth.
Ooh, eventually.
Well, speaking of positioning, there you go.
Well, Dazzle with his ulti gives a lot of damage. Yeah, from the Death Prophet and all of Fnatic's lineup based on minus armor and physical damage. Beastmaster, Axis, Venge.
Also, what's one of the first things we talked about? Roshan, right?
Yes.
Both of these lineups poised to contest Roshan continuously throughout the match.
That's the problem we see again. If you pick Dazzle that has no control and you have a Tusk which is hard to execute against some of the heroes, this is the reason why they picked me, or they really have no lockdown. Death Prophet provides silence and instant fuck ban because they have nothing to do.
Right.
You kind of have to have something like a Sven on the side of OpTic or something, or at least a core with maybe another disable. Sven gives you the armor as well, might help out.
Fnatic's turn
But at
to
the same
pick.
time, he will probably get kited. So there's already a lot that can deal with that, and it's the brute that Fnatic ends up banning.
They need a mid hero.
Who?
Fnatic.
Fnatic? Yeah, Fnatic
Yes.
definitely does.
Don't have to wait long for that one. It's a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, there again, more minus armor, more synergy with the double auras.
Yeah, and it's one of the best heroes you can get against Death Prophet. She wants to be in range to use Spirit Siphon and be careful about being triple raised.
And for Fnatic, once you see the Dazzle, you're not nearly as worried about the roaming potential. You know, the Tusk is going to threaten the mid lane somewhat, but Dazzle's not a hero that's going to roam, and there you go. Both sides, really, in the last couple picks, the Weaver and the PL, looking at the other and saying, not that much on the side of hard lockdown.
Do we like OpTic's chances here?
Dazzle and the Phantom Lancer is really good, especially in the mid game when the heal is maxed out with a lot of illusion. Heal bomb deals 1000 damage. Math is correct. But I think they have a good way to deal with the Shadow Fiend and the Beastmaster. A lot of auras. This is how Fnatic plays. They like to group up as 5, take early Roshans.
Or
3,
late Roshans,
whatever
yes.
number you want to get. I feel the Fnatic lineup.
Right.
I like OpTic here. I think that they've addressed the situation in the lanes. I think that they are going to have a very strong game with the ability I saw from Fnatic in game 1.
Even though they won.
Even though they won.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I will go for OpTic as well. I mean, the crowd is behind them. I feel like they've gotten enough motivation from that to maybe force out that third game. If that's going to happen, we're going to find out with Tsunami and OdPixel.
Thank you, Shiva. Yes, game 2 now between OpTic Gaming and Fnatic, and we've seen a bit of a change with the drafts. We are getting to see the Weaver through a hero that we don't really see too much, and then over on the side of OpTic, we're going to see the Dazzle, PPD Dazzle, something else that is not sort of at the top of the meta at the moment.
No, but on the side of late game potential, with evidently we're bound to reach, Weaver doesn't go as hard as Terrorblade this time, and on the side of OpTic Gaming, they've got a Phantom Lancer. So if the game does stretch, God forbid, OpTic Gaming are poised to be able to do it better. But Fnatic have proven that they are willing to end games earlier, especially whenever they pick this Beastmaster. Beastmaster, you've got Inner Aura.
Yeah.
There's really no reason not to push. There's no reason to not to take objectives early on. And Universe is always very, very... he's great at creating imperative that the enemy team is going to have to deal with whatever Beastmaster brings into the laning phase, because Universe is just very, very quick at getting Shadow Blades and causing chaos around the map.
Yeah, this is definitely a game where if we do see Fnatic get a sort of similar early lead as they were able to in game 1, they'll have the tools to sort of end the game earlier. But the question is if they are going to be able to get that advantage. I mean, they do have, looking at it, pretty strong lanes to start off with, but we'll see what sort of matchups end up getting forced by either of the sides.
Also, I don't know if you're listening to Haas, but I want you to tell me how many different heroes Abed has played this entire tournament, because I'm inclined to believe that I haven't seen him play the same hero twice a single time. I think this is the first Shadow Fiend we've seen from him in this tournament. He's played Kunkka, he's played Brood, he's played Visage. He's incredibly versatile, and he's really flexing it during this tournament.
We'll see. Looks like it is going to be pretty standard stuff here from the lanes. Universe will go down towards the bottom on his own, and we'll have to deal with EPD and Pycat. We'll see if he gets much backup at all. It's actually going to be OpTic able to claim all 4 bounty runes to start this game.
Game over. That's it. Call next.
Well, an extra little bit of a gold burst to lead in with, and on top of that as well, PPD gets a D-Warp mid.
I'm curious what Adam was up to. He was sitting around in this Radiant jungle for a little bit, but it's maybe trying to see where PPD was planning on planting his ward, but ends up finding out the Dire Observer and dealing quite a bit of damage, to be fair.
Yeah, PPD
He's got this windlace.
Taking quite a punch here, PPD. Will be able to get himself back to safety underneath the tier 1 tower bottom. Straight in with a quick heal onto Pycat, ready to try and back up this PL and make sure that Pycat can get the farm against the pressure of Universe's Beastmaster in lane.
Again, it's going to be this physical damage from the axes and the armor reduction from the Riptide land that worked fairly well in game 1 with the Pangolier Naga, and now again here in game 2 with Beastmaster Naga. Though granted, Pycat is going to be able to dispel these debuffs with Doppelganger, but that seems to be the plan, is to just let Adam and Universe lane with each other for a while.
See the top lane, DJ have to TP himself actually away, as a bit of an attempt was made there by Zion 33. We'll see how much pressure 33 can keep onto the EE Weaver up top. So at the moment, it looks like it's working out. He's got 5 for 4 on 33's Razor on that top lane, and just the 1 CS on MV at the moment.
Yeah, Weaver's a difficult hero to make useful, especially against this Phantom Lancer, because Weaver is primarily a single target type hero. He can build into AoE damage. Occasionally we will see players go for things like Maelstrom, which can be taken advantage of due to the Geminate attack, but it's not very easy to deal damage in a team fight if you're not able to just stay stuck to one target.
I mean, yeah, 33 is having a absolutely amazing time in CS there. He put 9 for 7 against E's 2 for 0.
Yeah, the other thing...
Oh, mid late. CCNC.
Raises.
He's getting Dover up it. He's looking for the raise. He's not going to be able to find it.
Bring around the Rosie.
He's hiding CCNC, and he's actually going to be able to live there. Azape He zips in with a haste, but can't quite find the kill. Top lane, bit of an attempt being made onto DJ, and that will be your first blood. They'll now turn towards Envy. Has he got Shukuchi back up anytime soon?
Seconds.
He does. One more second. He's not going to make it away. Wow. The fade time was too long, and OpTic, they get both kills out of this top lane. I mean, this Weaver lane is getting absolutely crushed.
Oh my gosh. That is a dream start for a Razor and a Tusk lane. Vengeful Spirit we've been seeing proved to be a fairly dominant laner, but that's always assuming you get an early head start. We've seen Lil run it with General StarLadder, and Na'Vi had a lot of success with it. But this is not the kind of situation you want to be in.
Envy massively struggling against this Zai 33 dual lane. Seems like DJ just can't do enough really to keep the pressure off his Weaver and get the space that Envy needs.
And in the previous series, Adam was pretty intent on sticking around with Universe for the majority of the game, but here he feels obligated to come up to this top lane. I mean, he's hit level 2, he's got Ensnare and Riptide, but 33 is not afraid at all. You may be able to discourage him from going for CS a little bit, but if Nagasiren ever leaves, the kill potential still remains.
Seeing the mid lane at the moment, 22 for 3 on Arbed compared to the 18 for 5 on CC&C. Very, very close between the two, just there. Slight expected lead here for the Shadow Fiend.
DD room picked up by Zai in the mid lane. But he sees Arbed, or rather Naga sees Arbed. I mean, Naga sees Zai.
Zai will give Adam a bit of a rundown here. Double damage. But DJ is there to make sure that Zai can't go any further. And in fact, they will try and turn, make a bit of a play. Zai does have the snowball, but is going to pop it before the magic missile's there, so DJ does still have the punch to help out, and I bet he's going to come in for the glory. Nice turnaround there from Fnatic to punish Zai's movements and get a bit of a bonus for the mid SF.
And Abed's doing quite well in this lane. Already cleared the hump of not having the initial damage against Death Prophet.
Universe tried to get aggressive onto PPD. Pykat's going to rush forward with a heal bomb. There's enough burst to stop him from TPing away. Up top, Envy slowly starting to get some more CS out of this lane, but still in the overall picture, as you can see, he is suffering about a third of the CS of Pycat on the other side of the map.
And 2 levels down. Right now 33 is level 5, Envy is level 3 right now.
Trying to do their best, Fnatic, to recover this lane. As you say, they are keeping DJ and Adam firmly sat up here by the side of Envy.
And that means that PPD is free to go for a rotation on this Shadow Fiend. Not the easiest maneuver. Snowball on the top.
They're going to get the kill. Straight in. Can they find the return kill though, Fnatic? They'll look towards 33. He's got the static link off, and in fact, he's looking to try and move it onto Adam. Forces Adam to back off. And again, they're killing this.
He wants it.
He is. He's trying to look for the wraparound behind the tower. Is he going to be able to find it?
One more right quick.
Envy is back. And Adam does have a salve. 33 will try for the TP, but the net is there. 33, he's trying to get out of this one. But it looks like he dove just a little bit too far, as Fnatic are able to get quite a valuable kill there. 33 being punished for his greed.
And Envy, luckily his Swarm Beetle ends up getting the kill, so he gets the gold for that. Unfortunately, well, actually, and a result of him getting the kill, he also gets the experience, so very fortunate for Weaver.
Bottom lane, Pycat continuing to put the pressure in. Universe is getting a similar amount of farm out of this lane as 33 is, but certainly is not able to sort of have the same impact in terms of slowing down the enemy position one, as we can see as Pycat coming up to 7 minutes in, coming up to 50 CS. He's pretty much getting perfect CS on that bottom lane. Top lane, never attempt onto Zai. He's got the snowball. 33 heading forward with a static link onto Adam. He will be held back for a little bit by the magic missile of DJ, but DJ's going to get turned upon. He'll get taken down. Envy does have a Shukuchi to get himself away as PPD comes into the lane to help out. But OpTic just making sure that they come out on top of every little fight up here. Zai?
No.
Tries for the shot. Zai is pretty low here. He's trying to fight up against him. He knows he's got PPD's heal, and there is indeed a grave to buy some time for Zai.
He's got 17 sick
He does. He can maybe try and turn with this one as he baited Envy forward. They'll look for the easier kill there as they turn towards Adam, surrounding the Nagasiren. Zai gets the heal from PPD. As OpTic bait Fnatic into that extra bit of action. and ends up in them getting themselves another kill for 33.
Razor's going to be a real problem, and I imagine part of the reason why they picked this Weaver specifically is because they're like, oh, okay, let's pick someone who doesn't really care about static lane because we can break it very easily. But you still got to make it through the early game. You still got to stay in lane whenever your Shikuchi has like a fairly long cooldown, and Envy's not level 6 yet, so he can't even afford to play aggressively and try to force the Razor out of lane and then time-lapse to recover. So things are starting out very slowly for him, whereas Pycat is getting a whole hell of a lot on this Phantom Lancer in the bottom lane. 59 last hits, 17 denies.
Much sort of smoother opening for OpTic Gaming compared to game 1.
Yeah.
Where Fnatic were able to find the lead early on and were able to maintain it right through to the end. This time round, OpTic have been able to answer the lanes of Fnatic, at least specifically in that top lane, having an answer to Envy's Weaver. As we'll have to see how Envy is able to climb his way back into this game on a Weaver that's very underfarmed off the back of the lanes.
Picks up a bottle in the Radiant secret shop on the Weaver, but it's all happening far slower than he would want. And I'm very curious what his build is going to be this game. I had mentioned the Maelstrom. There are a lot of different ways you can go. You can go Medallion, as now Exorcism is popped on mid lane. You can go Desolator, you can go Diffusal Blade. There are a lot of options. If he wants to go the most defensive, he can go for like Dragon Lance Pipe, or just the Dragon Lance, but we'll see.
TP into the mid lane is coming from DJ. Adam there as well. He's going to throw the root out onto CC&C. It's a very hard target to go on though, as they will immediately back off. OpTic are able to continue to push in onto this tier 1. Fortification comes out from Fnatic. And an extra TP now in from Universe. He has the Roar ready. Actually going to pop the Requiem here on the side, Arbed. They've got the Magic Missile down, but now with the Snowball, they'll turn in. Universe does manage to get the Roar onto the Death Prophet. They burst it down 1. Can they get CC&C as well?
Oh, the miss.
Uphill miss is going to buy him some chance, but there's the root. They've got themselves both. Universe with the perfect TP rotation, coming in with that level 6. He's now level 7, but he has that Roar. He's able to find that opening, and they time it perfectly as well after the heals kicked in from the Exorcism, and there's not enough save from OpTic to keep those two heroes alive.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, OpTic were hoping that that whole engagement would have happened like 3 seconds earlier, but great choice of priority of targets. They net not the Death Prophet. They wait for everything to time out. Once the ghosts come back in, Universe comes in and roars them, and 2 kills.
And they do keep that tier 1 tower alive for now. OpTic weren't quite able to finish it off there with that first use of the Exorcism.
And Abed's going to be going for the Blink Yules build. Right now he's got the Yules, already has the Voidstone completed, got the rest of the Yules queued up, and we've been seeing mixed results with this item build. The most common critique is whenever you manage to hit late game, then you oftentimes struggle to be useful, much like how we saw the Templar Assassin in game 1. As now Fnatic smoke up, and I don't believe it was in vision of this Radiant Ward middle of the lane, and they're going to head top. Beastmaster is TPing, and Roar is available.
Let's see what Universe can find. He's looking to open up onto Pycat. Pycat quick with the Doppelganger. Starts to back himself away. Universe is going to look towards a different target. He's found 33. He's got Envy there ready as well to focus down the Razor. 33 pops the Eye of the Storm, pops the stick charges, but surely he can't keep himself alive. As Universe punching him down, chopping him up with these axes, gets the kill, and at the same time, you had Arbed coming in and able to find PPD. So again, Fnatic making these smart rotations, Universe leading the charge each and every time and having an incredible impact with these early primal roars.
He's having an impact in terms of kills, but the objectives are basically untouched. All these tier 1 towers on the side of OpTic Gaming are basically near full HP, and like I said, with Abed going for this Blink Yules build, your late game suffers. Phantom Lancer, far better in the late game compared to any of these Fnatic heroes. And so the movements are great, and the kills are also very effective, but OpTic still have a 2k net worth advantage right now.
It has sort of sat at that 2k for quite some time now, though. So Fnatic are able to stop that lead from growing for now. A couple more big pickoffs with the Primal Roar, and it's back up. That will help them. In fact, they are going to be able to find PPD on the side. He's got a shallow grave to buy some time for himself. And doesn't even need it, as Adam will back away as soon as 33 heads over on the Razor. ICAP getting the space to finish off that tower, and I believe that is the full Diffusal Blade now complete and on its way towards Pycat's PL.
Envy's kind of lingering down here. Might find the courier.
Radiant's
Shield.
He's not going to. He might be able to continue to search for it. See if the courier micro is going to be enough. Envy chasing.
It's Zai. He's kind of baiting the courier. He's like, if Envy shows up, as Natural Spirit does go down in the top lane, the diffusal blade of Pycat. But I mean, this is a lot of time that Envy is spending not farming, which is understandable. He doesn't really have anywhere safe to farm, as now Adam gets cancelled.
Yep, tries for the TP out. A quick snowball from Zai is there to hold him down.
Exorcism popped. Let's take another tower.
They're getting these objectives at a very good pace here, OpTic Gaming. At the same time, Universe will find the space down bottom as he continues to be incredibly farmed on this Beastmaster, third highest net worth. We saw this really in game 1 as well on his Pango. Universe is having some very good games of Dota 2 today.
He is, and so is Abed. Abed has been crushing the CS, he's completed the Yules, but the problem is that the game is transitioning in such a way that I'm pretty sure he was ideally going to go for the Blink after completing the Yules, but right now he has BKB queued up. And that's because they have lost 4 towers right now at 13 minutes into the game. Envy has pretty much nothing completed. He has Aquila and Power Treads, and there's nowhere safe for him to farm on the map. Instead, they're giving farm priority to Beastmaster so that Universe can complete the Shadow Blade, and like I said, which he does have completed, and then start creating chaos around the map, try to draw focus away from Envy's farming spots.
33 just pushing Envy away from that area of the map. We have OpTic starting to move over. You had Abed, he was standing on the high ground, seeing if he get a chance for a Requiem for someone to walk into, but it wasn't going to be the case.
Universe bottles an Invis rune and immediately TPs to the shrine up top. But Pycat's playing it safe. He ends up hiding. We'll see if Pycat shows himself, because
it would be a big catch for Universe to find yet again. If they do get this PL, he's keeping himself in the trees. Indeed, he's out of there, out to safety. We'll see if Abed follows with this, but I do sort of like this adaptation to the Yules build. Going for the Yules and then the BKB rather than the Yules Blink, as
it's less all-in.
It is. It's a less all-in on the flashiness, and you are suddenly able to more reliably offer more if it's a situation where it's not you just jumping in and looking for one quick pick-off, but a situation in which you're fighting against numerous enemies.
Yeah. As CCNC does not have his Yules completed yet on the death front, and yet they're still going for this push. Exorcism is still down for another 15 seconds. But they're not going to commit for it hard, as the rest of Fnatic, Envy, and Beastmaster are going to claim this tier 1 tower in the offlane.
Slowly but surely getting Envy involved in these objectives, allowing him to climb back up the net worth, as he is now ahead at that 33 Razor. Razor was crushing him in the lane. He's made the recovery, Envy.
Poor Beastmaster. OpTic are playing so well against this Shadow Blade of the Beastmaster. They're constantly staying grouped up, and whoever is away from the fight, namely Pycat, is playing very, very conservatively. Also, it's hard as hell as a Beastmaster to gank a Phantom Lancer. You basically have to find him, like, in between Doppelganger, that the Shards almost catches out Envy.
Zai trying for a bit of an ambitious play. Maybe if Shards did catch, he would have had a chance, but still time-lapse was available for Envy if he needed to, and he's able to quickly Shakuchi himself up out of the distance of OpTic Gaming's initiation.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The panel had mentioned that early Roches would be valuable for Fnatic, but they compromised so much map control that really OpTic Gaming are in a much better position to take Roche, which they're going to smoke up now. And they know that there are some dire heroes on the bot side, as now smoke pops on Zai. He finds Adam.
Oh, Adam. He's got the song. Those shards are going to hold him in. He'll go for the TP out. He's going to make it in time. He is. Just enough time, the duration of that song, after being initially stunned, to get himself out of there.
The top.
One
more attack. Gets it.
Pycat. Look to try and punch back in.
On top lane. 33.
Universe. Yeah, finding that raw target.
Alright, things are happening. You're spreading OpTic Gaming out, and that's what you need to do if you're Fnatic.
Yeah, they're evening the playing field. Even, as we can see, 8 for 7. 17 minutes in. Just less than a 1k lead hit for Fnatic.
Oh, Universe goes for the TP, and they don't have any cancel at the Yules.
They do. CC's got it out on him now. They'll hold Universe down. We'll be able to find another kill for Pycat, keeping him just at the top of the net worth is PL here. But already just a much closer game than game one in terms of the numbers at least. Both teams are showing us they have these methods of pushing and getting these pickoffs. But definitely the most important thing, as it seems, is overall that there is this sort of recovery being made by Fnatic, where Envy is finding the space. He's starting to catch him in farm modes. There's still a long way for him to go in terms of catching up to Pycat's farm on the PL.
Yeah.
But he isn't sort of as in a dire of a state as he was in the early laning stage.
No, definitely not. Although the one big advantage of Fnatic would have been an early Roche. OpTic are going to claim it first.
Fnatic do have illusions there, and they... Oh no, it's on for sure, but...
Nagasong is still down. Otherwise, I think they may have gone for it, but Adam had to use it to save himself from that ancient attempt.
Build from CCNC will be the Yules into the Blink Dagger by the looks of it, as he does have the money to pick up that Blink Dagger. And almost certainly just waiting once again for the Exorcism to be back up, and then we'll see OpTic try to pressure another tier 2 tower. Keep that momentum going against Fnatic's lineup, making sure that Fnatic themselves don't get a chance to really step things up with the push that Universe's Beastmaster is going to be soon able to offer to even more, as he's starting to build into those Necro books.
And in this situation, it may be more split push oriented. I think despite Abed going for this early BKB, I think it's more like a contingency thing. I don't think Shadow Fiend is going to finish off this BKB and then immediately want to join into 5-man team fights. If Universe finds a roar target, then Abed will join in. But the 5-man from OpTic Gaming is just far stronger. You've got Save with the Snowball on Tusk and the Grave on Dazzle, and Weave is just very, very difficult for a Weaver to deal with. And still, Envy has not yet completed any major item. He's working his way to that Lincoln Sphere and has the money for the ultimate orb, but we'll still have to finish off the recipe afterwards.
We'll see what they find with this smoke. They're back up behind Envy, sort of hoping for a bit of a bait play from the side of OpTic, but OpTic, they have no interest in heading up towards Envy at the moment. They themselves just looking to prime themselves for...
We are a coin.
A golden thread.
Haste.
兽王其实这种永恒就很怕永恒盘，本来就靠一个大刀，那个大刀定点秒人，结果被永恒盘顶掉了。
那这波的话还是刷，现在的话反正确实也不好接，不着急。二塔你要就给你吧，正好让E来补。林肯的话
这把可能要上高，这波因为猴子是在盾的，GP 这个大刀可能要交出来，就算你看交不交。
对你。
很交，看啊，
交了，对，一定要把女人先逼回来。是
的，反正我这个大留着也是留着，我先把女人逼回来，我再说。
塔防掉得很快，而且有一个。
他们有点想换 DP 秒 DP 的意思。
В разное время они включаются в эту игру. Идет экзорцизм от CCNC. Уже практически разрушена Д3 башня. Посмотри, CCNC свап пошел, но он сразу же уходит на блинке. Как же круто он отыграл. Очень быстро отреагировал. Башня падает. Винги уже нет. Начинает падать казарма. Подойти невозможно.
А вот так надо играть. Подойти. Играть против Fnatic надо так. Дальше 20-й минуты нельзя заходить, не ломая стороны Fnatic. Именно так их обыгрывали Vega, именно так их обыгрывали Нави на второй карте вчера. Нельзя просто с ними играть 80-минутку, там они в конце выигрывают. Это неписанные правила Доты, которые надо выучить.
Ну, если они рапиру не покупают, конечно. Если есть рапира, они обычно проигрывают. Но суть в том, что... Ой, так, погоди-ка, CCNC. Да, до него добрались. А ну, смотрим. Как-то так. Да, ребята, это так и работает.
Абед бежит, он хочет докастовать еще ультимейт. Сейчас, подожди. Я там кое-что не показал тебе. Хороший сон получил.
Да, очень... Знаешь, немножко растерянными, что ли, Fnatic выглядят после того, как их выбили из своей зоны. Так, сейчас CCNC, давай, реквием. Ага. Но мне кажется, это была ошибочка. Да, это была ошибочка, несмотря на то, что Тусик спасает CCNC, тот пытается убежать, не успевает выдать Грей. Дузель, но по итогу Фантом Лансер начинает разбираться. Слушай, а Арор потрачен не на Фантом Лансер, а как вы собираетесь Пайката убивать, например? Есть варианты?
Он там Шадоуфинда избивает, Шадоуфинд старается улететь, и Шадоуфинд уходит.
Да, а остальные как будут улетать? Да, забрали 33-го, но от ПЛа уже скрыться нельзя. Пайкат принимается за очередную жертву, нападает еще и на Юниверса. Юниверс, зачитывая телепорт, пытается уйти и не уходит. Какое лечение от PPD!
Энви заканчивается у него, Энви с Энви старается уйти из-под фокуса, у него нет ультимейта, Энви откатывается немного назад за Пайкатом.
У Пайката и Гида второй раз забрать ПЛа, через 8 секунд появится еще тут.
His teammates alive, Pycat. He's looking to play around with Arbed. He's jumping forward aggressively with the doppelganger. He's got the defusal blade. So Arbed's in trouble.
Yules.
Arbed has been taken out, and Pycat, I mean, at the end of that, he is going to be over the moon. He got 4 kills, then he died, and then he got another kill.
I mean, he got 682 gold just from killing the Shadow Fiend. What a way to spend your Aegis.
I mean, it all looked like it was going to go perfectly for Fnatic. They got themselves in at the start. They were able to sort of remain elusive with Envy, Shikuchiing about, keeping the distance. But at the end of the day, OpTic, even though, I mean, at the start of that fight, they pretty much, they lost everyone. Everybody died on OpTic if you count the Aegis on Pycat.
Right.
And now suddenly they're straight back in. They're the ones pushing back into the base of Fnatic.
And
there's no,
dead.
Yeah, for 20 seconds. There's going to be at least another tier 3 gun with the exorcism up. They may be even able to push for more OpTic.
Yeah, and when he comes back, he's not going to have very many souls. Exorcism still has time left on it, 12 seconds.
Being a little careful now, 5 seconds until the SF's back in.
Beastmaster does that roar.
DJ actually trying to TP out, but Pycat's just going to run into him and kill him. DJ has to buy back. It's going to be the jump forward Arbed, looking for the Yule setup. Shards won't catch onto Arbed. He looks towards 33 with the raises, but straight away again. They focus him down. They take down Envy. Envy buys back, time lapses into the middle of the fight, looks towards 33. Arbed puts the Requiem. Will hold OpTic back, but again, OpTic, they're not losing anyone off the back of this. This is 2 buybacks from Fnatic.
You don't buy back for giggles, you buy back for kills.
Arbed's trying to get in with the raises, but again, the heal from PPD onto 5, keeping OpTic topped up. That's a stain, buying extra save. 33 just gets swapped in, they've got the stun. Graves going to be there, 33 going for the TP out. But anyway, to cancel it, they have. The roots there from Adam, that at least be able to find 33 on his Razor. Can they get more? The rest of OpTic retreating. Quick blink out from Zai will keep the distance. And OpTic, they get away with it. They weren't quite able to finish off that mid-melee racks.
No.
But again, just being able to keep themselves ahead of Fnatic in these fights.
2 buybacks, man, one on the Weaver, one on the Vengeful Spirit, and these are expensive buybacks. We know that DJ likes to play very, very farm-oriented. He's got the medallion completed on this Vengeful Spirit, but just being able to kill the Razor out of that is not nearly enough because they can't claim any objectives afterwards either. So you bought back, you didn't really win the team fight, and you're not going to be able to push anything, you're not going to be able to take any Roches. It's very, very difficult right now for Fnatic to make use of these heroes. Like Abed, the BKB was absolutely necessary, as you can see after that Yules, but now you're wondering what the hell is the Yules really doing right now? He's got the blink completed now though, so he's got the full combo potential. And Phantom Lancer is not really a BKB builder, so if you manage to blow him up, it would be great. It worked very well on CCNC. Zai attempted for that snowball save. I don't know if like Zai was like spam right-clicking, but I mean that's one of the first times I've ever seen that attempt to save a target who's getting comboed by Shadow Fiend like that. So I don't know if it's even possible or not. But whatever the case, like you will have tools to prevent that combo from going off, as now 33 is working its way to his BKB on the Razor.
Yeah, CCNC has Beyond Disc now complete as well, so that extra bit of save if that the sort of burst play is attempted.
Right.
5k lead for OpTic Gaming at the moment. Pycat still very much the top of this net worth again, farming his heart out.
And Roche has a respawn time of 5 seconds. Fnatic are grouping up, making sure there's no vision inside of their jungle, and they have a smoke on DJ. There's a ton of sentry wards in the side of Dire.
Yeah, they've also got the level 3 Necro book on Universe as well.
They smoke up. Roche is up.
That's scan. OpTic Gaming know that this movement's coming in. The scan connects. They know that something's heading over.
I got Shadow Blades away.
And with that, Fnatic will reveal Envy.
They think Envy's alone.
BKB is now on 33. Gonna use the song here. Trying to set things up. The Raw on the side. They try for the burst, but again, the snowball save. It's going to buy some time here for 33 to pop. The BKB tries to stand in, but look at the right, he's coming out. 33 falling over the shallow grave there in time. Buying some save for him. He tries for the TB with the root. It's there to hold him down. 33 in trouble and will lose his life. Fnatic 5-1. They get the swap back onto PPD, but the armor's starting to build up here for PPD. The buyback's there from Zaya. Wants to get involved in this fight, but Pycat, he's the one cleaning up, moving from target to target now. Godlike on his Phantom Lancer as he takes down DJ as well. Looking towards Envy, trying to secure your way. He does have time lapse available if needed. He's into the trees. He should be fine as he bottles himself up and can keep the distance. So this time around, it is, well, OpTic, they do expend the buyback on Zai. That was a fight where they did use the Exorcism, and it wasn't necessarily a clean win for OpTic. Fnatic were able to get those kills in return. They were able to bring down 33 despite the attempt to save him with the Grave, with his BKB. They can still punch through that Razor. Yeah, and they can also punch through Roche on the side of OpTic Gaming even without that Exorcism. It's going to take a while, and Beastmaster is up. They have been silenced. Won't be any sort of further lockdown to hold him down. But yeah, as you say, so the buyback from Zion such that fight as a whole, not necessarily amazing for OpTic. If anything, you could argue Fnatic would come out top, but with the Roche going the way of OpTic as well, the overall play works out, because, well, this is the second Roche? Yeah, it has cheese. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would say that's pretty heavily in favor of the side of OpTic, because Pycat just continues to not die. And, like, Phantom Lancer is going to outcarry everyone on the side of Fnatic. OpTic has basically been relegated to a Requiem machine, because I imagine that they sang, and then Abed was clicking on everyone. He was just like, well, I can't kill Razor, because he's going to have a BKB. I can't kill the Death Prophet, because she has an Eon Disc, and then they ended up roaring, I believe it was either the Dazzle or the Tusk. It was the Dazzle, because Tusk ended up saving the Dazzle. And, I mean, it's just too difficult to find someone to solo down with this Requiem combo. We see the movement being made here from Fnatic to leave the base. Come in with a wrap around. This could be hard, though. The Aegis and Cheese in the hands of OpTic. Aegis on Pycat. CCNC, he has got the Ghost. Yeah. Can Fnatic find a quick pick-off to begin the fight? DJ, looking for a spot target. He couldn't find CCNC, but straight away the Yule's up into the air there. CCNC will be able to buy himself time, comes down, gets picked up in the snowball. Zai tries to take him towards Universe, but Universe keeps the distance, tries to have the silences there from CCNC, but here's the song. There's 3 heroes here. Can they find the combo? Meteor Hammer and Ahmed in the midst of it. They got the timing. It's not kind of perfect, but it might still just work. They'll look towards CCNC. 33's been rolled, but he has the Grave. PPD will save him. And Pycat, he's moving from target to target. He's taken down DJ, he's taken down Envy. They've lost Universe as well. They tried for the combo there, Fnatic. It didn't quite work out. OpTic Gaming are able to keep themselves alive, and Pycat is just a nightmare to deal with at this stage. This PL just target to target, ripping them to pieces. 3 heroes dead on Fnatic, no buyback available, and GG will be called. We're going to a game 3. It could have been amazing, but recently it was patched out that you can send the Meteor Hammer someone after the song. They will be able to BKB in between. Eon Disc would have been guaranteed to go off, and this is the problem with the combo of Shadow Fiend. You're very, very one-dimensional, and if you're not able to utilize the entire combo, then it's a whole bunch of net worth that's doing pretty much nothing on the side of the Shadow Fiend, and Weaver was just so far behind that there's no way that Envy could have done any amount of damage to recover that. No, absolutely, yeah. But considering the fact he's playing against this Dazzle, you know, PPD consistently keeping the armor built up with the ultimate, some fantastic saves from Zai. And Pycat, again, just these really solid carry performances. Is PL just uncontrollable, really, that game. Despite, you know, we saw Universe have a very good opening. He got this fantastic timing on the Shadow Blade, made some very high impact rotations with the Roar early on, but it just wasn't enough to sort of propel Fnatic to the point where they're able to just deal with the overall lineup of OpTic Gaming. Yeah, it's to an extent, it's almost kind of easy to read up.
yesterday. They pulled out a quick one, Lacoste. So perhaps this time they'll make sure that we end before 3 minutes.
Yeah, but they love to play third game in BO3.
They
definitely.
do. They do.
Yeah, they should maybe. I probably underestimated the draft from OpTic Gaming. Maybe underlooked some of the things, but Fnatic needs a better draft. I said I preferred their draft. I was wrong. I'm not afraid to say when I was wrong, but they need to draft better lanes, and I still feel that they need to give DJ a hero to be a playmaking hero.
As the sort of the mark contrast, a guy that we haven't talked a lot about for OpTic has been Zai, who's been quietly magnificent in this series. He was in 15 assists. He was in on 17 of the 21 OpTic kills in that game too. And when you talk about a guy that can just alter the balance of power either by rotating across lanes or just by staying at the side of that 33 Razor top and bullying with some clutch snowball saves as the game goes on, he had a really huge impact there.
Yeah, we have also criticized CCNC a lot this tournament because it seems to be all eyes on him in terms of OpTic and their performance as a whole in this season. And previous game went quite okay. He had a little bit of
rod for this OpTic roster that a lot of people felt has underachieved throughout the season. But like I said, I thought he really kind of found his footing at this event when they put him on that Lina in the third game of the first series on their first series on Thursday, and I feel like he's been a positive presence for the team ever since.
I mean, his Lina is phenomenal. I wouldn't be unhappy to see it perform here again. It is one of those heroes that can normally only be 5th pick though, so.
One of the reasons that CCNC is playing good right now is that he finally found the form and is playing around the team. Usually he's like a pub star, loves to play those flashy heroes and wants to make a lot of space, goes in solo action. So maybe that's PPD that kind of tamed him and making him more of a team-oriented player.
Yeah, whatever it's been, it's always, you know, I've heard that over and over about him. He has that reputation among so many people in the Dota scene, but if you actually talk to the guy, he's kind of on the quieter side. He's a very cerebral dude, extremely intelligent, and a lot of game knowledge. So it just feels like it's taken a while for that game knowledge to really express itself in his play.
Yeah, and when PPD was questioned in the interview as well, he would rather have someone with good mechanical skill and Dota knowledge that has a bit of an ego compared to anything else, so that he can mold it. Basically.
Well, that's maybe Peter speaking from experience. I don't know.
Well, you need to have that captain or a coach that everyone has high, what's the word?
Respect.
Respect. That's right. That's the word. You need to respect them, and then their ego is not going to be that big. They need a voice that can hold them. And Pango from Fnatic.
Feels like we've seen this before. The Rubik first pick and Naga Pango a little earlier in the draft instead of the Terrorblade that we saw in game 1.
Well, we had the Pangolier in the first game of the series. The first 10 minutes, this Pangolier went absolutely off.
Oh, he owned, yeah.
How do you slow that Pangolier down? What do you do?
You think about the lanes. That was all, yes, Universe played well. He's one of my favorite players all time, but a lot of that was about the laning matchups, and OpTic come back with, to me, what is exactly the right answer, a gyrocopter that can be incredibly strong in lane. He's not nearly as easy decided at 33 Razor top and bullying with some. He had a really huge impact there.
Yeah, we have also criticized CC a lot this tournament because it seems to be all eyes on him in terms of OpTic and their performance as a whole in this season. And previous game went quite okay. He had a little bit of a rough start in the lane, but he recovered quite good.
I think he's done. I actually think he's done very well at this event. He's been kind of the lightning rod for this OpTic roster that a lot of people felt has underachieved throughout the season. But like I said, I thought he really kind of found his footing at this event when they put him on that Lina in the third game of the first series on their first series on Thursday, and I feel like he's been a positive presence for the team ever since.
His Lina is phenomenal. I wouldn't be unhappy to see it perform here again. It is one of those heroes that can normally only be 5th pick though. So
one of the reasons that CC playing good right now is that he finally found form and is playing around the team. He's like a pop star, loves to play those flashy heroes, and wants to make a lot of space, goes in solo action, so maybe that's kind of tame and making him more player.
Yeah, whatever it's been, it's always, you know, I've heard that over and over about him. He has that reputation among so many people in the Dota scene, but if you actually talk to the guy, he's kind of on the quieter side. He's a very cerebral dude, extremely intelligent, and a lot of game knowledge. So it just feels like it's taken a while for that game knowledge to really express itself in his play.
Yeah, and when PPD was questioned in the interview as well, he would rather have someone with good mechanical skill and Dota knowledge that has a bit of an ego compared to anything else, so that he can mold it basically.
Well, that's maybe Peter speaking from experience. I don't know.
Well, you need to have that captain or a coach that everyone has high
respect.
That's right. That's the word. They need to respect them, and then their ego is not gonna be that big. They voice down. And Pango from Fnatic.
Feels like we've seen this before. The Rubik first pick and Naga Pango a little earlier in the draft instead of the Terrorblade that we saw in game 1.
When we had the Pangolier in the first game of the series, the first 10 minutes, this Pangolier went absolutely off.
Oh, yeah.
How do you slow that Pangolier down? What do you do?
You think about the lanes. That was all, yes, Universe played well. He's one of my favorite players all time, but a lot of that was about the laning matchups, and OpTic come back with, to me, what is exactly the right answer, a gyrocopter that can be incredibly strong in lane. He's not nearly as easy dive as a lot of these cores that we're talking about, and you have the flexibility to move him over to the mid position if the laning matchups dictate. This is a hero that we haven't seen a lot of first phase gyrocopter at this event, and yeah, there have been some other heroes like Underlord that have come to the fore, and the flat cannon nerf in 7-1-2 probably plays a role, but I really like this pick for OpTic here.
Yeah, Naga Siren is one of the better heroes against Pango. I guess that's the reason why they picked both of them together, and they love to play with Naga's side. Naga's net cancels Pango's ulti.
And Fnatic loves Roshan, and as Nahaz already said earlier as well, Naga is great around Roshan. Previous game, OpTic did have a say in that. Nice Roshan lineup themselves. As in, at least a lineup that could fight around the pit better than what they could in the first game of the series.
Yep, and I think, you know, we talk, it's only natural, right? Because our job is to tell the stories of the players, but we do sometimes talk a little bit too much about individual play and too little about team play, like I was saying earlier about the criticism of Envy. I thought OpTic as a team planned their uses of exorcism really, really well in the last game. If you saw them use that exorcism the Roche fairly quickly with Fnatic never really being able to threaten, the timing of their pushes, I just felt it looked like they were playing off a script.
They were on the same page and it showed.
Yeah.
I feel like you need something that goes against Pango. Master should be a good ban once he rolls in, that completely shuts him down.
You could always go for a void.
But this Naga Siren
that is true.
The combo.
Yeah.
Dire team ban.
They ban out to Doom instead.
Or that.
Why would they ban out the Doom?
Fnatic's turn
because even if Doom rolls in, rolling even.
I think just Fnatic, due to the nature of, just due to the way they play, they end up in a lot of these situations where they've got a single core lineup, either by design or just because the game has gone on so long, and the ability of the Doom to just take one hero out of the equation is always going to be scary. And like Lacoste said, it does deal with the Pango.
Yeah,
you can Doom him during his ult.
There's the Beastmaster. Maybe, I'm not sure about the interaction. Maybe Doom actually stops his ult. I'm not sure. Didn't see it. Maybe this opens up the DP pick. It's still in the pool. They have AA. They need tower damage, some fight oriented.
Go for the lifesteal.
I like that a little better. Lifesteal, you need a hero that can kind of get in the face of the gyrocopter. The obvious criticisms, he is very stable in lane, is the lifestealer. The obvious criticisms are that you don't have a delivery vehicle for him. Maybe the Pango, if he goes the early blink, can fulfill that role.
And maybe the last hero can help with that as well. Maybe they are planning on getting one of those mobile heroes for Abed. Those are the heroes that he shines on best. Maybe we're going to see finally a double hero coming out for him.
Although I do worry, like if you put Abed on something like Puck, first of all, that puts you kind of on the early game side, and it also it makes it so that Envy is your main damage hero. I always like it when Envy and Abed are both capable of getting in the middle of those fights.
Gyro's probably gonna be on the off lane, so they could pick position. For right now, still could be Elder Titan just set up.
I'm down. I'm always down with ET Beastmaster dual lane or ET Gyro, and I think if you then turn around with your 5th pick and pick something magic damage focused or Quinn, I think the Elder Titan helps out.
Maybe they're thinking about DP. So AA is a great counter to DP. That's their tower damage.
Fnatic's turn to ban.
So that's the lane master and keeper of the light.
That is so that's the NA special.
Yeah, Lifestealer will need to dodge that lane.
Golly, that's just nasty.
I almost forgot about this combo.
I actually seen this exact same lane. Beastmaster, keeper of the light, and against AA plus Lifestealer and one more hero. Lifestealer actually did great because they have nothing to stop the. They can just go with the open wound. That open wounds is level 2. He can be in the range, and with the follow-up, they can easily kill them. Extra slowdown from the Chilling Touch and the Naga Siren just stop the DP. They're pretty much dead. They just need to play the lane correctly. Yeah,
the key though there in what you said is the one more hero. There are a lot of tri-lane that can stand up to Beastmaster Coddle. The Beastmaster Coddle combo is getting heavily punished by people picking Chen. People are just picking Chen and just running at the Coddle, and that was controlling that lane. But yeah, I really like it here. But with the Chen nerf, you don't have that ability to control the laning room anymore. And it doesn't fit into Fnatic's lineup anyway. I actually think if OpTic are looking at this and saying if we force them into a tri lane with AA, Lifestealer, Naga, that's fine because we're gonna win the other two.
Dire team pick.
Storm ban.
Yeah, we want to go Storm ban. Ban Storm Pinker. But they don't have enough lockdown. Masters the lock him pretty high cooldown on his ulti. Root doesn't provide you any.
5 seconds remaining.
Then the Abed plays just three, but I don't think they're gonna pick.
Squadron is pretty good against Lina too.
I think DP or Dragon Knight is just are both fine here. I would love to see the Lina. That's the kind of what I'm rooting for. But I think you pick DP or Dragon Knight here and just win the game and just play straight up. No fancy play required.
Cam, go.
I mean, hey, dude, that's a guy in a gal at a Dota event. That, like the gal looks like she's like really into the draft.
She was explaining Dota to him.
I want to meet this woman.
That's what I understood.
I'm just kidding, honey.
There's the Lina.
There is the Lina. All right, perfect. That
nice.
that feels good, man.
It does. A very comfortable draft, I think. I think OpTic is really happy with this.
I think on paper and the Abed Kunkka now, it's got to be said. I thought that this Lina Kunkka lane was quite Lina favored. Abed dumpstered Dendy's Lina in a game the other day. They are very confident in playing this lane. We are going to see CCNC first couple quick waves. You're going to find out really quickly whether Abed really is this good at the matchup.
Yeah, he played a phenomenal Kunkka.
I love OpTic's lineup. Feels that Fnatic lineup is so screwed.
Yeah.
They have nothing to start a fight with besides X-Mark or Song. Pretty hard lineup to execute.
Alright, so you're going for OpTic?
Yes.
Everything Lacoste said, OpTic.
Alright, I think we got 3 going the way of OpTic here. I think Fnatic has a say in it too, though. Don't worry, they definitely don't have a shot here. What?
No,
I don't
there
see that,
you
dude.
go.
Like, I can't see that. Alright, let's go.
Thank you very much. Game 3 now between OpTic Gaming and Fnatic, and we've got some more big shows coming out for this one. We have the Abed Kunkka and we have the CCNC Lina. Some exciting finishes to a draft that already sort of had some heroes come through that we don't normally see, or haven't seen for a while, like the Keeper of the Light. It's coming back in this game, a hero that's sort of been forgotten in a lot of the drafts at this lap.
Yeah, and OpTic's drafts, I think the slight pattern that I've recognized is for the first 2 games of the best of 3, CCNC is not allowed to play Dota. You're going to give him a Razor, you're going to give him a DK, you're going to give him a Death Prophet, and he's just going to sit there and take it. And then in game 3, they unmuzzle him, and they're like, okay, fine, you've had to play a whole bunch of boring stuff, but we're going to let you play flashy this time. And so they give him the Lina this time. He already paid his dues on the DK in game 1, a grueling match. Game 2, he did very well on the Death Prophet, and now Game 3, he's going to be on this Lina up against the Kunkka Abed, the only hero that they have yet to repeat on Abed during this tournament.
And that's sort of the discussion was going, you know, there's a lot of focus on that matchup in the mid lane. I mean, what do you sort of expect to see out of the matchup between these 2 players and these 2 heroes? Who do you expect to come out on top in this sort of head-to-head?
I think OpTic Gaming are going to be more willing to rotate to the mid lane than Na'Vi were with their Lina. Most of the time with Dendy's Lina, they were only willing to show up whenever Lina was like about to die. Whereas against Abed, I think if you're like, maybe not the Keeper, but the Rubik is going to be probably making a handful of rotations down to the mid lane, I imagine, to make sure that it's not as free as Tidebringer oftentimes makes it.
Let's have a look. Of course, everything on the line here for this Game 3. Both teams fighting for a spot in the Grand Finals against VGJ Thunder. Let's see who is going to be able to take it. For those runes, DJ. We have to grab the one down bottom this time around. We'll get the split. Of course, last game where we saw OpTic get the lead, they did take all 4. Now we're back to an even playing ground.
I like the approach that OpTic is making with giving Zai a kind of non-roam oriented hero. We're pointing a finger at Fnatic in pretty much all their series this game, which is saying like, so DJ's been relegated to more of a support, and Adam is also kind of a support. Neither of these heroes that are often drafted for these players are really exceptional at roaming. Whenever we're seeing like these Naga Sirens and whatnot, it's usually in a 2-1-2 matchup all day long, and did really well for Fnatic in game 1, this Pangolier Naga Siren duel matchup, and we'll see if they can do as well against the Gyrocopter.
Talking about strong dual lanes, the Beastmaster Keeper of the Light.
This is, according to Winter, the hardest dual lane in the game.
It certainly gets pretty obnoxious once the levels are there, so that 33 can continue to stack up the debuffs from the axes, continue the spam. So we'll see how Fnatic can deal with that pressure.
Who just popped his Sal? I heard his Sal. Oh, it was in the mid lane. Okay, yeah, I keep forgetting that I see your camera. Yeah, so we'll see how CCNC is able to fare here. Right now, Adam is rotating on him.
He is.
Which is uncharacteristic, but might work as a torrent.
They've got the connection perfectly done there. I don't know if they'll quite be able to finish off this kill, but nonetheless, a bit of harassment onto CCNC forces him to pop his Sal. We'll get a bit of space for Abed to take a little bit of control back from the creep wave, but overall CCNC coming out on top on these first few waves.
You kind of need to play it in a Your job as Luna is just to get CS. You get a few levels in your spells. I'm actually kind of surprised that he's going for points in Fiery Soul, but I'm sure he knows this matchup far better than me. But kind of got a hit and run. You clear out the creep wave, maybe go over to the jungle, and just make sure that Kunkka can't land Tidebringers on you all day. Is going to land another Torn in the mid lane, but just for her asses. 33 zones out DJ.
Quite a bit of a rundown. DJ was heading towards that middle lane. A bit of an awkward position.
They chase him all the way here, and he's like, you guys want to do a gank? Because I'm in the mid lane.
Well, they've got Adam leading in. And with the three of them here, they should have a pretty good job at taking CCNC down. The combo comes through. And I mean, they knew that DJ was in the neighborhood, but CCNC steps a little bit too far forward.
I guess they just assumed that DJ would TP out.
I guess so.
But he stuck around. Solid rotation. And Hero was saying that OpTic were going to be the ones rotating, but no, Fnatic are like, we'll take these heroes that aren't really, that we haven't been abusing as rotation heroes, and let's get some kills.
Pressure on down bottom as 33 returns to the lane. Envy 10 for 4 against the 8 for 2, so still CSing pretty well despite the aggression of these dual lane with the Beastmaster and Keeper of the Light. Now Abed heading back for a quick refuel. The X mark, and even though CCNC was taken down the once, still doing okay in terms of CS against Arbez Kunkka. 18 for 3 against the 11 for 1. He does have that lead still.
And both the carries are looking pretty neck and neck as well. Envy, despite being against what is supposedly like those Winter's words, not mine, but this is one of the hardest dual lanes. And I can see the potential, like you said, once Chakra Magic is up and running, which Zai has 2 points in it, and Snare on the Courier.
He's trying for it there, but that protection will be enough to get it out. Not quite enough right click really on the Naga Siren to take down a Courier at this stage of the game, even with the net. PPD also there just to make sure that the Naga Siren can't get too close to his gyrocopter. By Get heading over, we'll be able to make sure that they get the 2 bounty runes from the top. OpTic. Haste! Zai actually finding a haste rune here. We'll be able to keep the distance to make sure the Cold Feet doesn't proc. Doesn't look like he wants to stick around and continue to man fight DJ. Head straight down towards the bottom. Hit 33, a bit of a top up in mana.
Now there's another rotation coming in on the mid lane. This time AA is going to teleport, and Adam shows himself, gets a pretty deep ensnare.
I mean, they know that they can get the tornado, but indeed he's going under the tower for this one, and PPD just TP's in. And with the help of the Rubik, CCNC is able to turn around and get the kill. I've seen Adam do this before, where he makes these overly aggressive plays underneath the tower, and that does cost him his life.
Yeah, I was pretty optimistic. That's the kind of play you make if AA is like level 6 or something like that, and you can get an Ice Blast afterwards, but not at this stage of the game.
It felt like either way, he was not getting out alive from that situation.
No way.
A very, very deep dive there from Adam.
And now that points are up in Tidebringer, you see CCNC is playing very back, but that's the way it should be done. The creeps are eventually going to come to him, and that's all that really matters at the end. You're going to get CS, you're going to get experience, but you're not going to zone out Kunkka. And Adam going for another attempt. This is the most I've ever seen him move around.
Let's see if he can get away with it. I mean, knows that he's been sort of spotted, so back away. Can he find the opening onto CCNC?
He hasn't spotted yet. Yeah, CCNC does not suspect it. But he knows that Naga Siren has not really shown up back to the top lane. It's just Universe. And Adam's now going to TP to the bot lane.
See if they can kick anything off.
I mean, Ember's got 3 points of damage, he's doing fairly well.
They're going to turn straight away towards 33. They've got the net into the Cold Feet. That'll be enough to stun 33 up and take him down. The rotation from Adam a success. Opening up this bottom lane, making sure that Envy can continue to farm. Lane CCNC getting very low. The backup here from PPD as he looks towards Arbed. Arbed tries with the X mark and the Tidebringer hit, but CCNC will be able to keep the distance. Will be able to live for now.
And Shrine's up top, so lit that up. And he's doing exceptionally well. Like, initially I was skeptical about the matchup whenever I saw Abed versus Dendi, and I guess that's just chalked up to Abed being mechanically superior to Dendi in this particular matchup, and so it is not nearly that case here. And so if Fnatic were drafting this for Abed with the intention that it would be able to just dumpster Lina, that has not gone according to plan.
Wrap around on the bottom lane coming in as Adam looking for a target, will turn towards 33. Again with the setup there, the root. Surrounding 33, looking for those body blocks as well, Adam will make sure that Envy gets himself involved in another kill in this bottom lane.
Yo, I'm super impressed with Adam this game. I don't even care that he died underneath the tower that time. This is like newbie style. It's now mid lane, Laguna Blade.
And they quite finish it. He's got the one charges.
Whoa.
He's gonna survive, Arbet.
Doesn't even go for the bow. That's Nerves of Steel. He knew his limits.
Very tanky Kunkka, of course, early on, able to withstand the burst.
Shout out to 4.6 magic resistance that he has, thanks to strength. That's 7.13 right there.
Arcane Reservoir.
We're all brief for one. Adam back towards the mid lane to just soak up some of this XP and farm whilst Arbet is out of the lane. DS, he's got this one. There we go. The money?
Not as much as what OpTic are getting right now. Zai and 33 have been stacking this hard camp in the bottom lane and just down shredded it with Wild Axes and Illuminate. So Beastmaster about to hit level 6, Caudle level 4.5 right now. Despite not going for very many rotations, OpTic Gaming in this offlane are doing very, very well.
Illusion.
Now Beastmaster's 6, so Envy may need to be careful. He's already got 3 stacks of axes on him. 33 wants a 4th, and he gets it. No, 5th. Both of the axes connect.
Hunts once more, but V able to keep himself behind the tower. They have managed to clear out all those trees, though, so they do have a good amount of information in terms of what's going on around that tier 1 tower. First, he's going to get the chance of rolling footer before the missile hits. He will. So he'll be able to roll himself away back into the missile to get rid of it.
33 wants a net. Places a ward, but already OpTic Gaming have backed out. Now 4 heroes are up here. Abed has joined the party.
And he's able to clean out this stack as well. About a triple stack here.
Pyket's like, now stop it. Go away. That was for me.
That's a big amount of gold going the way of Abed. Get the torrent to Pycat on the way out for the extra sort of BM. Pycat can only stand at the side and watch. Straight back towards mid Arbet. So after the phase, going straight for that armlet.
Oh, net, top lane, Rubik. Quite a bit of damage.
Can they finish him off? They're diving in here. They're both getting low though. The counterplay is being attempted, but Swashbuckle's actually going to be off the mark. But Universe.
He's getting missiled. Rolling Thunder's not up for another 15 seconds.
They got the control.
One more Swashbuckle second. Nope.
Couldn't quite get out in time. Pycat and PPD find the kill. At the same time, down bottom, Raw was used. 33 able to kill off Envy on his own by the looks of it.
Wow.
Big solo kill for Beastmaster to find.
And we'll see how 33 wants to do his Beastmaster. The Universe build, as we've seen, is Shadowblade into Necrobook. And 33 has, I believe, a Necro... No, never mind. Doesn't have anything yet. Just sitting on 1280 gold. But they can afford to play very greedy. I mean, you've got a Caudle. They've been stacking like crazy on the side of Dire. And now another stack being claimed by Caudle and Beastmaster. It's Eastern Camp.
Deep. Managed to find himself level 6. We'll go for the quick steal.
He's got Rage. He can X out of it.
Easy.
Easy. Definitely a much softer Kunkka than we've seen from previous matches from Abed. He's still working his way to that armlet. And the last time we saw this Kunkka, he went for a Halberd second item, but that was a whole bunch of different decisions. Now X comes out on 33.
Yeah, they have the bow coming in onto 33. 33 gets caught in the combo off the verified, trying to keep his distance. Could he actually get himself out of this one? He's heading into the tree line with the backup. 33 is going to be able to get out of there. Goes into the trees, TP's away. The backup from OpTic enough to make sure that they can get their Beastmaster out of that combo and back to the base, back to safety.
I'm actually kind of surprised that he TP'd out. He was able to get out, and he's had Roar and Mana for the entire time. And TCNC's Lena's rotated. He has Laguna Blade ready to go, but he is pretty high net worth on this Beastmaster, to be fair. Actually, no, he's not. He's 5th lowest. Well, whatever.
It's very close,
very
sort of amongst the top
everyone's
6.
Tied for that placement as now Telekinesis on the mid lane.
They've got the combo perfectly down as they burst Adam.
Buys out his Tranquil Boots before he dies, at least.
Universe has got his first Javelin done the game, so we'll start to see how much of an impact he can have on this Pango. Game 1, it was pretty good. He got this good start. His early items and was able to do quite a lot in terms of disrupting OpTic Gaming with his rotations.
Yeah, and the potential to be irritating as Fnatic this game is very, very high. Surprisingly, Envy is going for the Armlet build as opposed to the Radiance build, which we see so frequently. But
yeah, that is a bit of a change-up.
Yeah, and I guess part of the reason is because really the only person who will get affected by the Radiance burn is going to be the Gyrocopter. Lina's range is probably a little bit too high that she won't get burned, but even like the Solar Crest would, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, one of the reasons why I think the Armlet could be so good for the lifesteal of this game is because you are playing with a Kunkka in your lineup. So
if you get a Blink Dagger,
you are going to get that run buff.
You are, that's true.
So there's that extra sort of chance to play around with the Armlet, which is going to be super good against sort of the magical burst that.
But at the same time, whenever you have the run buff and being able to survive for so long with Radiance burn is valuable. As now PPD get X'd up, does not have rage anymore. Gets killed by the boat, and meanwhile, or not yet, gets killed by Tidebringer, and meanwhile the bot lane invasion.
Yeah, TPs are coming in to try and back up Envy. Can they kill Envy in time? They have the Roar, OpTic claim one, but now look at the counterplay. They'll get out the Ice Blast, DJ onto Pycat. Pycat's picked up a couple, he's trying to get himself away, but here comes Universe rolling in. Has the Rolling Thunder, the shield crash as well, they'll take down Pycat. 33 will actually be able to cut down DJ as well on the back of it, but Ahmed has got the control, brings him in, he does have the double damage, he's affected by the blinding light for now, so can't grab the punch, oh, he does it with style.
Very well played. Ahmed waits for the blinding light debuff to time out, and then looks for the creep, cleaves off of it with that double damage rune, and finishes off the Beastmaster.
Very nice indeed from Ahmed.
But Lina wants to get recalled in, Ahmed is still farming here.
Ooh, that blinding light as well, popping him back into the range of PPD, they've got the chain stun. Have they got enough? It certainly looks to be that they have, as they will punish Abed. Quick heads-up play from Zai, bringing CCNC into the lane and getting that counter kill onto Abed.
And now another recall. They bring Pycat into this bot lane after he respawns, and they're going to be able to just claim a tower off of this most likely. Beastmaster is still back at the base, and Spirit Form has timed out now, so instead 33 is going to head over to the mid lane, which has been claimed. CCNC is just going to solo push bot. Fnatic are smoked.
Let's see if they can close the gap. Pycat with the juicy kill. They were able to kill him after he overextended down bottom before. And they get the catch on him again. He's already backing away, Adam.
They've got Song.
Can look for the setup onto 33. It is a pretty beefy Beastmaster, but probably not beefy enough to deal with this amount of heroes surrounding it. 5 heroes collapse onto 33.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We're able to catch out the Beastmaster.
And it doesn't look like Kunkka's going to go Blink. Instead, he's going to go Crit. So Envy and this Armlet are going to have to find kills by themselves or jumping into Pangolier, which I actually don't think I've seen before.
Pretty good for the Pango.
Yeah,
you're at Pango.
In theory, it sounds great.
Incredibly mobile. And one of those heroes that once you're in the Rolling Thunder, very hard to sort of stop him from closing the gap. You know, each and every time, Universe is going to be able to get on top of you.
Top tower.
Overall, as we can see, Pycat still leading the net worth with CCNC close behind. So overall 3k lead for OpTic. Fnatic certainly showing us that they have got this team fight potential. Sort of the setup, the song into the Rolling Thunder, Ice Blast, they do have ways to burst down OpTic Gaming's cores at this stage.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I like the role switch of giving DJ more support-oriented heroes, but with the knowledge that he's a greedier player, is that heroes like Ancient Apparition are obviously oftentimes just like, they're there for Ice Blast, and they're not really expected to get very many items, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes later, DJ may work his way to an Aghanim Scepter, which could be very valuable, especially since oftentimes we see these Gyrocopters go for Satanic and ultra late game and stuff like that, but whatever the case, we'll see what DJ is able to do on this Ancient Apparition, because right now, Adam is playing far better.
Can CCNC get away with this play? It would have been a tricky one. I wonder if he was going to try for the Light Strike from
Yeah, he would have had a
trees.
Light Strike from Fog.
Yeah, it would have been pretty hard to do. And indeed, he'll just show himself, start pushing the lane back out as Envy will retreat.
He went for the damage talent as opposed to the cast range talent on Lina as well. But he's going for the Shadow Blade. This is similar to his previous build last time he played Lina on CCNC in this tournament. Afterwards, he went for a Pike. I asked him about it. He said, I felt like it. And I was like, great. I've learned so much. So we'll see what he goes for this time. But I do think it's in his best interest to go right-click oriented, especially seeing as how Envy is not going to be going for that Solar Crest build. So all the right-clicks from Lina, we've seen Lina's turn into very, very potent right-click late game situation physical damage dealers. Oh man, and Rubik steals X. That's actually a super value on PPD.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
CCC. Be a little bit careful here. He's out on his own in the jungle, and Fnatic are moving over towards his position.
Man, I gotta say, seeing Zai doing stuff like this, it brings back memories of AUI's Coddle at TI, where he was just like, he was basically given farm priority. He was just like, go get this Aghanim Scepter in the jungle. We'll hold down the fort in the meanwhile. Which this time Zai has opted for the Force Staff first, but Aghanim Scepter is next on his list. Greedy 5s are making a comeback. Everyone's sleeping on it. Fnatic are kind of bringing it back, potentially, with this DJ Adam roll swap, but looks like OpTic can dance that as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Overall, though, during these passive points of this game, it is benefiting OpTic Gaming. They're just able to farm up the map a little bit better than Fnatic's heroes can.
Yeah, especially if they can go for invasions like this. There's now Smoke Up. Rolling Thunder activated to find CCNC.
They know he's around, down it.
The rest of his team's coming.
They will get the bounce back onto him. He's going to be able to use himself up, but he's already been hit by the Ice Blast debuff. He will fall. The question is, can OpTic Gaming find anything in return? The cooldown is going to be dodged by Fnatic as they keep the distance. They've lost Adam. Don't see anyone else go down. They get the trap onto MV, but OpTic understandably a little bit hesitant about chasing this, and indeed Abed, he's got the catch. Looking for the setup, MV can't quite close the gap though. So OpTic will be able to get themselves away. It will just be the 1-for-1, but Fnatic, the happier ones, as they do kill off CCNC.
Man, Nerves of Steel and Gyrocopter does not activate his BKB. I guess, I mean, Abed was pump faking his cast animations, but none of them went all the way through, and Pyke had recognized that. He was just like, this is a bluff, X, you're not actually going to bring me in, because I'm going to activate my BKB and take this full fight. Which is a very, very early aggressive build from Pyke, and not the way that we usually see with like Sange and Yasha. First item BKB,
BKB
on a Gyrocopter.
Into Butterfly.
Who had basically free farm. He's top net worth right now. But hey.
I mean, if he gets a good time, I mean, at this pace he will as well. He's going to get a good time on the Butterfly. CCNC is able to find DJ with that haste rune ahead straight into the jungle of Fnatic and has the combo. But he's on track to get this very quick BKB into Butterfly timing.
Yeah, and there's no way that the Lifestealer is going to be able to work his way to an MKB, and Kunkka can kind of play around it. He can just cleave off creeps, and that's guaranteed to be able to make contact off of an evasion target. But, oh yeah, and Kunkka ends up going for the Shadow Blade as opposed to the initial data list that he had queued up for the Armlet. And he's hunting right now with that Shadow Blade in the top lane.
Bottom lane, CCNC is pushing in with the backup of 33. An extra bit of an attack speed, helping them bring this tier 2 tower down incredibly low. CP's in from Fnatic. They're going to see if they can catch anyone out here. CCNC and 33 just a little too speedy. They also do have the rest of the side around. OpTic, their entire team inside the jungle of Fnatic at the moment.
Yeah, but it looks like they want to push.
And looks like Pyke did change his build. Didn't go for the straight Butterfly. He managed to get the money for the SMY. He's just bought the Sanjin Yasha straight up. So wanting to add a little bit extra to the skirmish just that little bit sooner rather than going for the big items on the side. They've caught out DJ, and that's going to mean no threat of an Ice Blast for 30 seconds. They can keep this push going down bottom. They will pick up that tier 2 tower at 20 minutes in. OpTic Gaming continuing to grow this lead.
Yeah, and on the topic of item builds, 33 did go for the Dominator plus Medallion, so they're going to be able to get a very early Roche if they find an opening to do so.
Zai, about 1,000 gold away from having that completed Aghanims on the Keeper of the Light, and that is when we are really going to see this sort of push, this self-sustain that OpTic have really step up. Having that huge heal to provide the backup needed to really go ham with this SMY BKB. Very good timing on the Gyrocopter that Pyke has achieved.
I guess part of the advantage of going for the BKB early, I still don't know about first, but going it early and then getting a Sanjin Yasha early, these are a lot of strength items. It means that there's a lot more HP that Coddle has to heal once the Aghanim Scepter is completed. So you can just stand and deliver for a very, very long time. You don't need to go all in on agi items for damage, but instead just rely on daytime pushes with the heals from the Illuminate.
V with his build, Armlet, SY, and into the Desolator will be his next pickup that he'll look towards.
Radiant are scanning.
Smoke up on OpTic. CCNC has completed his Shadow Blade. 33 is leading the charge. They can find Envy.
Ooh, if they can get their Roar to open things up, Envy's going to be in a lot of trouble. There's the Roar. They'll have the chain stun as they burst down Envy, wiping him off the map. Quick movement. As you said, these Shadow Blades from OpTic Gaming are going to make any sort of split push like this very hard for Fnatic's cores to make. Particularly when there is that primal Roar available.
Is under attack.
The Universe has just like not been doing anything for a very, very long time. He's had
a lot slow game for him.
For ages. Really, it was just that one Rolling Thunder down bot. Is now Abed.
Gonna get chased down. He does have the X Mark and Torrent onto Pycat to slow him down a little bit, but Pycat still gonna come forward with the cooldown.
Action.
So yeah, the Shadow Blade enough to keep Abed safe and is still very much tanky on Kunkka. Universe.
I mean, yeah, despite not showing up, manages to complete a Lotus Orb.
Yeah, I mean, he's still finding the farm, Universe. That's certainly for sure, as we can see. None of the cores really getting too far behind, everyone within sort of a few thousand of one another, apart from Pycat. Just a little bit ahead of the gyro.
The PPD Canyon.
Sure. But of course with Zai.
Yeah, no,
Zai's in the rich
This was the plan, yeah.
Zai is...
He's the top 1% right now.
He is very farmed. He's right in sort of the bracket of the offlaners on his Keeper of the Light, the money that he has.
And it'll eventually trickle down to PPD, which, I mean, even PPD is like way more farm than he generally is at this stage. But now Zai has completed the Aghanim Scepter on this Keeper of the Light. It's going to be daytime in 20 seconds, which means find a pick. And if you find a pick, then immediately go to Roche. Otherwise, you can just kind of smoke up if you don't find a pick. Regardless, Roche is going to be the next main objective for OpTic Gaming.
And Fnatic, they do have good ways of fighting around the Pinnacle. They have the Song, Ice Blast, Rolling Thunder, the combo from Kunkka. Lots of ways to sort of get in.
Right, which is why ideally a pick is the first thing for OpTic to do, and they're going to smoke up.
I think, yeah, both teams are going to be happy taking a 5-for-5 as long as they're the side that gets the lead in. We'll see who gets the jump first. It's going to be PPD showing him mid. Straight away, Universe is in with the Rolling Thunder. That's going to be the Rubik down. So OpTic down, remember. Universe.
No blink for 7 seconds on Universe. He used it to nail the Rubik.
The Hawk inside of the pit, 33, getting the vision for OpTic Gaming. Is just the one hero down.
Yeah, and Rolling Thunder's down for 40 seconds now as a result. The boat is still available, and Song is still available, and those are the main cooldowns that can't spend unless if you're willing to contest the Roche. Look at that dragon.
Oh, look at those textures.
High definition right there. 4K.
Make sure you got your 4K displays on at home, boys and girls.
I've got my 4K MMRs on.
Aha.
Again, this is the kind of thing you do if you have a Radiance on Lifestealer, but he's chilling.
They're toying around
with it. You can't get roared inside of a dragon, so might as well find information on like an expendable target.
But we'll quickly head back to refuel on the map.
But they can't set up anything.
They can't really kill that dragon.
No, they cannot.
They're gonna smoke up OpTic.
Whoa. I mean, they're locking this thing down.
They managed to kill the dragon. MV gets roared. Do they have the control to kill him off the range? He's ready for the time being, and now he's actually going to look to try and turn. BKB's popped by Pycat. But he's kicking out the damage. Adam's going to get taken down. Pycat's still alive, but Zai's there with the blinding light, knocking back Fnatic. MV trying to run with the armor toppling. He can keep himself alive for now. He's still on a retreat. He'll turn inside of the Hellbear Smasher. He eats that tomato, gets himself back up to a good amount of health, so he'll be able to continue to run away. Zai.
He has a gem.
Does manage to find Arbor there with the Mana Leak. CCNC closing the gap. The Shadow Blade gets the stun off. That'll be a second down. OpTic taking 2.
Man, what a freaking Illuminate by Zai, priming that up. Otherwise, Pycat was dead to rights. That Song timing was great from Adam, locking everyone on OpTic Gaming out. Pycat was the only spell immune target. He was standing and got ensnared, but then Zai's Illuminate comes and heals him up. Does a ton of damage to Fnatic, and now an Ice Blast coming in, but you don't have Kunkka right now. You can buy back though. But this is going down so quickly.
They can't get her in time. This is going to be a free Roshan of free H's for OpTic off the back of getting those kills. An 11k gold lead now for OpTic. Getting very sizably in their favor at just 26 minutes in. with both PyCat and CCNC scaling up to be very scary cores at this stage compared to what Fnatic can offer.
Yeah, PyCat already has the Eagle Song completed, working his way to that butterfly, and you already see MKB in the works, and he's quick by because he knows what's coming, and he knows that he has to deal damage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Have got that Aegis, but looks like they are going to play it careful. Making sure that they can have the side lanes pushed in as well. Worth noting that we are 27 minutes in and OpTic are still... Yeah, well, okay, as I say, they finally lose the tower. But that is the first tier 1 tower going down on their half of the map in 27 minutes. Yeah. Fnatic have just... I mean, they've not really got the lineup to push early towers, but we're certainly seeing that.
Like, I credit a lot of this to the 33 Zai lane, where Beastmaster was constantly pressuring the lifestealer. Zai was able to get a lot of farm while stacking a bunch of camps on the eastern half of the map, and as a result, like, the tier 1 tower bot was never threatened. CCNC did an exceptional job in the mid lane versus Abed, so Abed can't really push. Yeah. And the top lane Gyro, we all see how that turned out with his 15,000 net worth at 28 minutes.
I mean, an Envy as well, going for this very sort of adaptive build on the lifestealer. It's not every day, especially in this current meta, that you see the phase, armlet, SMY, and then straight into MKB. But he feels the need to do so because there is going to be this decent butterfly timing on PyCat. There's the blinding light to worry about as well. Sure, you've got the rage, but you do want to still try and make sure that you can have that sort of consistent uptime and actually being able to offer some damage, because you don't have that radiance. You've got to be hitting the targets to be doing anything for the teams in the fights.
Yeah, the only issue is that CCNC is also becoming another target that you need to be concerned about, which he's not here at this bot fight. He can get recalled by Zydo, and it looks like that's what will happen. Torrent stolen by PPD.
Certainly could be nice for the combos. Zenvi shoving in that top lane. And again, yeah, 33 with the, certainly with the items that indicate that OpTic Gaming really want to really want to use this advantage to close the game out. Having the Vlads picked up. So OpTic do it once this series, wasn't a game that they were losing in a very different sort of situation.
Right. This is the context that we more often see Vlads in, which is like, let's end the game early. Yep. We have strong push, we have a strong net worth advantage. Necrobook is also often an option, but in this situation, you're all about PyCat, and Vlad's is going to help out PyCat a lot more than a Necrobook would.
If you can just do everything to keep PyCat alive in these fights, you're going to be feeling very confident. OpTic, and he has now got that butterfly complete, so still 29 minutes in, this is a very big gyro cost. I mean, again, it has just been one of those games where PyCat has performed very, very nice.
Was the Russian stream talking about Na'Vi?
I believe so.
I believe
of course,
so.
Ladies and gentlemen, the observer cannot hear us, so he is referring to something that the Russian caster said, as, you know, we weren't talking about Na'Vi at all. I don't know, you got to work out the question.
Yeah, no, I was thinking in my head.
What's that NA game show where they do the answer and you have to work out the question?
Oh, Jeopardy.
Jeopardy,
yeah.
That's it. General's the answer.
What is the best StarLadder that we've seen today in this tournament?
Maybe did General do this sort of build on a Beastmaster?
Oh, that's possible actually. That's a good call.
There we go.
I think you're right.
I'll take that one for $1,000, whatever the old man's called who runs Jeopardy.
Alex Trebek.
That's the man. Alex. They're pushing in.
I mean, Homie's got a 9-second BKB.
I mean, CCNC's just standing on the low ground, punching at the tier 3 tower. He's taking it out. Can Fnatic put a stop to this? They're on for the Rex here, OpTic. And they should be able to find it. Oh, one more hit. He didn't quite get it. The Rex are still alive for now. PyCat wants to finish. He pops the BKB. He's just going to head straight in and finish the melee Rex. Looks towards DJ. The song's going to be popped, but they already lost one. Adam takes up damage. He walks into the gyro.
Okay.
There's 4 dead. They don't have any buybacks.
Yeah.
Fnatic just losing 4. OpTic sweep across towards the middle lane. They just didn't have an answer at all to that push. They couldn't do anything, and GG well played is called. Fnatic are out, and OpTic Gaming winning the series and moving on to the grand finals to face up against VGJ Thunder. They really did clean up their performances here in Game 2 and Game 3, OpTic.
Look at that smirk on Quinn.
He's happy.
He's very happy.
He's happy. It's not pizza tonight for that boy. They'll get someone else into the OpTic camp, but he's understandably as well, because he stepped it up. You know, this really has been a land.
Let's CCNC play Dota.
Yeah.
PPD puts them on a leash for Game 1 and 2 in every single BO3 pretty much. And then in game 3, he takes it off. He's like, he takes him to the dog park and he's like, have fun, play Alina, beat a Kunkka mid.
It just, I mean, that game just felt a little bit awkward from Fnatic, really. They had this.
Yeah.